And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the internets, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. Actually, I do know where to start. Hey, that Obama video, you know what? I have so much to say. Hey, before I was preparing the show earlier today, I was like, what will my sermon be to start the show? I got something for y'all. I don't even know what I'm going to say, but I know what I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to let God speak through me. We'll talk about that a little bit more, a little bit later. Also, the big game is upon us. Super Bowl. I'm not sure what it is. XLV23, I have no idea. I've been so out of touch. It's ridiculous, but I've been watching little things here and there. I've seen little comments here and there. And I think the teams are what? The Patriots and the Seahawks. Shout out to the Patriots. Hey, they had Randy, my hometown hero. Shout out to Rand University. And Tom Brady. My Lord, that was a beautiful connection. Kobe and Shaq. That was Scotty and Mike. They almost won except for that really crazy catch from the Giants, but different story. I digress. I'm getting triggered. Also, let's talk about this AirBNB biolab. What's going on with that? Would you like to stay in the Airbnb that has a biolab or a meth lab inside? That's a real thing. Sometimes hotel rooms get condemned because meth lab blows up. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Mike Tyson supporting the administration. Absolutely. We'll talk about all those things and a whole lot more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing thus far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Hey, it's a little bit going on today, huh? Just a little teeny bit happening today. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. Okay, not a whole lot, but a little bit going on. Oh, my goodness. Hey, check it out. Let me just say something off the rip. Let me just say something right now. Some of y'all texted my actual phone. Some of y'all texted my phone. Y'all got my real phone number and texting me. Hey, ABL, what do you think about the Obama video? Hey, ABL, you can't excuse that, can you, ABL? Y'all texted me, and you know what? I'm not mad at you. Thank you for that, because y'all inspired me to do the video, so I appreciate you. I ain't gonna say no names, but you know who you are. Y'all texting me on my phone asking about that Obama as the monkeys or whatever. It's okay, but check it out. Where were y'all when I was posting the videos of the white liberals calling ICE agents the N-word? Where were y'all at for that? I didn't get no text on my phone. Hey, nobody hit my phone, my Virginia line or my Tennessee line. Nobody hit that line talking about, oh man, that's crazy, ABL. Man, you know, that's really just because they're ICE agents and they're black. Are we going back to a time, a terrible time in history? Are we going back to Nazi Germany? Nobody gave me none of them texts. Nobody texted me. And the thing about it is, people follow me and then they'll text me sometimes when they see certain things that I say, or, you know, hey, everybody want to monitor my page and monitor my language about what I say. But then when I put out things that actually matter, don't nobody care. Oh, okay, don't worry about it. It's fine. Racism only matters when you are a liberal person. If you are not a liberal, if you are a conservative, racism against you don't matter, because it's not about race. It was never about race. Well, not at least in my lifetime. Not in the past 20 years, at least. It's not been about race. It's all about your ideology. And you know how I know that to be true? Let me tell you something right now. So people are calling me and Uncle Tom and other black racial slurs. Imagine that. They're calling me black racial slurs because I don't agree with them. They think they're the good guys. They think they're on the right side of history. They think they are defending the minority. Meanwhile, N-word, 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 if you don't agree. If I say, hey, the illegal immigration is hurting the black community in this country because they coming into where we live at and we got to fight them for resources. When I say that, oh, no, that's not really a real thing, you N-word. I'm living in Bizarro Land, and y'all know about that in Superman, where he goes to the alternate universe and things backwards. That's kind of how I feel. Like up is down and left is right. I'm talking about actual racism against black people in the country. Real racism, like not just like I feel, not just I think, not just, oh, well, I got a funny look. Nah, N-word directly. Hey, N-word. Multiple occasions of this. The migrants come in, completely just attack the black community, like directly. Gang members and all of that attacking us in our cities, in our neighborhoods where we live for hundreds of years. I talk about that. Man, you know, you're Uncle Tom. All right, don't worry about it. It's fine. The things that have been happening over the past few days, weeks, especially, have really put things into perspective. They've kind of like shaped exactly who everybody is. Now, you kind of have an idea beforehand, but now we get so many incidents to happen and we get to see the reactions in real time. We get to see what you're made of. And shout out to you Republicans who were so soft and got offended by the video of the monkeys or whatever. Anybody with a brain, listen, let me just say this. I have been editing things on computer software, computer equipment for the past 20 years of my life. 20 years. Okay, it's 2026. I went to college for graphic design, editing, all of that, you know, video editing, web editing, photo manipulation. 2002, I started college, 2002. And by 04, 05, I was getting money. So this is not new. I know what it's like to edit a video and forget to take a piece out. It's sometimes with some of this newer software where it's touchscreen activated. I have an app called InShot. No commercial, no plug. I'm just saying it's an app called InShot. It's a mobile video editing piece of software. And it's good for doing 9:16 aspect ratio, basically your tall video. It's good for doing that. It's very intuitive anyway. This is not an InShot ad. I'm just saying I had a piece of software. And sometimes when you import in videos, you know, I got these big hands. It might just look, this right here is a 17 Pro Max. And this is how big it is in my hand. So I have big hands, right? And sometimes when I'm importing a video, I might accidentally import another video. And there's been times where I look back on the video that I uploaded, me, and y'all seen me on this YouTube channel for the past 11 years. I started in 2015. It's now 2026. So I've been here for a very long time, but even me, I can make a mistake where I upload a video that I didn't mean to, or I upload a video without the editing on it. In InShot, I might have my big hand slip and pick another video that I didn't want, and it appends to the end. I look at the beginning of the video, it looks right. I export it, and then I'm getting people that text me like, yo, did you mean to upload that extra piece at the end? Like, what's that all about? A random unrelated thing. Oops, my bad. I accidentally uploaded a video with more than I wanted. Obviously, what's happening with Truth Social is that you have a guy who is being paid to do that, or is an intern and is just putting out content on there because anybody on Truth Social no more. It's not a priority. So you're just putting up videos that are related to what you're talking about. But since the person is probably unpaid or underpaid because there's no money to be made on Truth Social anymore at all, obviously, there can be some corners cut and there could be a mistake that happens. It was very clearly a mistake and they deleted it. People talking about Trump should apologize. Apologize for what? The intern uploading the wrong video by mistake. The intern accidentally keeping the end piece up there and just uploading it. A careless intern. Is that what we're talking about? If Trump says, if Trump apologizes for that, everything that happens, he'll have to apologize. And the thing about it is, whatever Trump does, whatever conservatives do, the left blow it out of proportion. And some of you soft conservatives do the same thing. I saw some of y'all, I ain't gonna anybody's name, on Instagram. Some of you guys that be at DC with them people over there with that particular clique, the DC Republicans, the LGBT or whoever. Y'all know y'all, don't play no games. I saw some of y'all, releasing statements, a statement about this. Where was your statement about the black ICE agents being called the N-word though? See, this is what I said. Shout out to the High Twins. When I was on their podcast 2024, this is what I said. I said, too many of us as Republican conservatives are soft. We'll get all up in arms about the monkey video, which was an obvious mistake. Anybody with a brain can see it. Anybody who's done any video editing, I ain't gonna say anybody with a brain because you might not know how it works. But if you do social media for a living, if you edit videos for a living, you know exactly what this is. And let me tell you something else. The higher ups in CNN, CBS, ABC, etc., they knew exactly what this was from the beginning, because don't let them make you think that they have never uploaded a video with the wrong information in it, mistitled the video, or it's too much content in it, they made a mistake in the editing. Don't let them make you think that they don't know these things can happen. And don't let them make you think that they don't edit things deceptively every single day. Okay, they know how mistakes like this can happen. They know it. They know how to hide things from you and edit every little piece. So if you make 1,000 edits in the video, you might miss one. Is that enough to apologize for? Everybody knew what this was, but again, the media will take whatever he does and blow it out of proportion. Epstein files, for example. Okay, his name's in the Epstein files. What did he do? Crickets. Bill Gates' name in the Epstein files. Now, they had to talk about Bill Gates, but even with Bill Gates, the video I saw where Bill Gates got interviewed was ABC Australia. So nobody in the USA was brave enough to interview the guy or to ask him a question or to get down to the bottom. You had to outsource that to Australia. See what I'm saying? You're selective with who you want to criticize. You are picking and choosing who is going to have the favor of the public. And this is why the alternative media has risen, because we're tired of you guys doing that. We're done with it. You say, you know what? The lies I hear from the mainstream media are enough. It's enough. And we're going to go a different direction, which is why my video blew up. Hey, you know what's so funny? So I did my video about the Obama situation with the monkey video. I put it on YouTube. It does well. It does very well. I put it on Twitter, 1 million views. I was like, it's so random. I was like, let me put it on Twitter and see what it does. 1 million views. Facebook, Instagram, 1 million views. It went viral. Why? Because people are searching for the truth. They hear what the mainstream media says, but they want to get down to the bottom of it. They want to get the real thing. They don't want to get truncated videos. They don't want to get loaded statements. They don't want to have any of that be what they receive as far as content. They want to get down to the nitty gritty. They want to get down to what really happened. They want this whole thing explained to them. The mainstream media, all they want to do is sensationalize it and use it as a bludgeon against the president and the administration and conservatives like me. But guys like me, we're going to get down to the facts. Getting down to the facts. People coming out, and the funny part, again, the people who say that the video is racist are calling me every racist name. Look, go to Twitter, go to YouTube, go to Instagram, Facebook, and read the comments. Just read them, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I get that every single day. And then when it's things like this that happen, it blows up. But these are the ones who say, hey, you're the racist, not me. So I know at this point, I've been known for a long time, but whenever these things happen, it just further confirms what I've been saying from the beginning, that they are the racist, not us. Okay. Now, Marta Allen, I got you with the video. Don't even worry about it. We're going to get to all of that a little bit later. But shout out to the mainstream media for doing what they do, because without them, really, there would be no me. Because, well, I ain't going to say that. I'm going to say this. I think the mainstream media is necessary to a certain extent. And when they falter, which are going to falter, it just helps us, because we're able to give people the real information that the mainstream media won't do, that they can't do, that their sponsors tell them not to do. I'm a free person. I'm not bound by any contract to say something or not to say something. I say whatever I want to say. You can love it or hate it. It don't really matter. It's fine. I'm going to just say it regardless of what. So that's what that is. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. David says, ABL, we're still going to post your IG stream on YouTube. I got you, David. I got you. Thank you for the reminder. I will be doing that. So if you guys don't know, I do a live stream on Instagram every single Tuesday, and I will post that stream here on YouTube. I guess it's going to be Friday, but I passed a Friday this time, so we'll see. But I'll also put it on my audio only page as well. I will be doing that for sure. Okay. And, you know, people talking about the video wasn't racist is funny. That's a matter of opinion. I think the correct way to address the situation would be to say that it was a mistake, because it was. There's no sense in trying to defend the actual video because there was no intention to post the video. Why would I defend the video that I did not create and that I did not post? Why would I do that? It's not necessary. You could think it's funny, but it don't matter, because let's just talk about this. If people think the video is offensive and you didn't post it, or you posted it by accident, you didn't mean to post it, why would you defend the video? You could just say that I didn't mean to post it. So whether people love it or hate it, it don't matter. There's no sense in trying to get into that argument and to the back and forth between whether the video was offensive or not. That's why I said in my video, it doesn't matter what you think about the video. If you enjoyed it, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. At the end of the day, the video was not intended to be posted. So I'm not in a position to try and defend the actual video itself, because it was not meant to be posted. The video was about the election integrity, not about the meme that came up accidentally on auto scroll. Okay. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not going to defend the video nor apologize, because there was no intention. You see, look, if Trump was to apologize, then that would admit guilt as far as posting it to begin with. See, and people, they hear what they want to hear, because Trump can say, hey, I'm sorry for the video being posted. We did it by accident. People are going to hear that he's sorry for posting the offensive video, and the only reason why he's apologizing now is because he got caught doing it and took it down. You see how that works? So even if he comes in good faith and says, you know what, I'm sorry for the mistake, people are going to hear, I'm sorry because I got caught. What I would say is the truth. We did not post that on purpose. It was an accident. Why lie and apologize when there's a need to? Why try to make it seem like you did something that you didn't do? Yeah, nah. Hey, they come to my door, Mr. Logan, you did X, Y, and Z. Hey, first of all, I ain't gonna say nothing. And then when I do say something, my lawyer will say that my client didn't do anything, because I didn't do anything. Not literally, not I didn't do nothing, but I did not do anything, meaning this was not an intentional act. This was a mistake. Okay, it was a mistake. Very simple. You know, what's a good way I can say it? I don't know what I'm saying. A mistake is a mistake. An accident is an accident. Ain't no sense in trying to apologize for that. So it would have been worse if he apologized, because then people are going to say, well, you apologize because you know you did wrong. So and again, the video, whether you like it or not, it don't even really matter, because the video was not intended to be posted. I saw some creators talking about that. I saw like Caroline Levitt, her initial reaction wasn't really a good one, because like I said, there was no reason to defend the video. She's saying, oh, the video was harmless, all this and that. You can say that and that's fine, but just say what really happened. It was an obvious mistake on the part of the video editor. If you posted it by itself, now you got to try to defend it. But since you didn't do that, then why defend it? But anyway, people are weird. I really, and that's why sometimes it takes for some people to be able to make decisions, and some people should not make decisions. That's kind of how the world works. It's kind of how society other way is. All right, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling with me. So shout out to Mike Tyson out there with the Make America Healthy Again agenda. I like that. I like all the celebrities who are showing their support for the conservative movement. Now, I know a lot of us say we don't care about celebrities, but they matter. Fortunately or unfortunately, they matter. So when you have people who have influence and people follow them and they respect their views or they respect them as a person, when they lend their name to something, it gives it more relevance and it helps us culturally. So I like that Mike Tyson is out there with the Make America Healthy Again agenda. Shout out to RFK Jr. This is a really good one, because y'all know me, I'm a big health nut. So anything health related, I'm in there like swimwear. Shout out to Mike Tyson. And the thing about Mike Tyson I like is that he's somebody who is not a fake person, because Donald Trump is a black guy. Let's just keep it all the way real. Donald Trump is black. Okay. Now, I know you're going to have a well actually in the crowd. It's going to be a well actually that pops up. Well, actually, ABL, he's not black. He's really European. He comes from Scotland. His mom is Scottish. Okay, thank you, Captain Obvious. I appreciate that analysis. But guess what? In the eyes of the black community, in my humble opinion, in the USA, he was always a black person. He was with us. He was part of our community. He was one of us. He was an honorary black person. Okay, but I'm going to see him as a black guy. He's the first black president. Barack Obama, I mean, you got the skin tone, but it ain't the same thing because you are Indonesian and Hawaiian. You're not really one of us. But Trump from, Jamaica, Queens, 50 Cent neighborhood, always with us for years, 70s, 80s, 90s. Now, he's been a consistent friend to us. But what happened? When the white liberals got on TV and told us that he's racist, people believed it. Make that make sense. So the deeds, the actions that he's done over the years, all of a sudden just vanish. Is that how it works? Because a white guy got on TV and said that he's racist? Make that make sense. Why must you judge or gauge your feelings for someone based upon what someone else says rather than what you experience? If I know you as a person, I've been around you for a long time. We're cool. Everything's good. And then somebody says, like a, gossiping person, hit you with the rumor, hey, that guy is a bad guy. He sucks. He's racist. Oh, okay. You got any evidence for that? Because off the rip, like I said, if anyone tells me anything, I'm not going to believe it. If Jesus himself came down from the sky and said, my son, I'm back. Okay, great. I appreciate that. But whatever you're telling me right now, I'm gonna need a source. All right, Jesus, I'm going to need about 5 sources. That's how I am. And don't nobody get offended. Don't nobody be soft right here in the chat when I say that. Don't nobody get it. Oh, you can't blaspheme Jesus. Please stop. You understand what I'm saying? I respect Christianity. However, I need a source. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how I am with everything. You can't just tell me my friend is a bad guy, a bad person with no proof. If you say my friend I know all my life is a bad guy, show me the evidence. Uncle Tom, that ain't no evidence. You just insult me because I'm black. You're just being racist toward me. So let me get this straight. You tell me my friend is a bad guy. He's a racist person. When I say, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? You call me an N-word. Okay. Well, it seems like you're proving that you are the racist and not him. You see what I'm saying? But hey, again, bizarro world. Up is down, left is right. And that's just what it is. Inside is out. That's just what it is. But if you understand that, if you know that, if you walk around with that knowledge in your head, things are a lot better. Things go a lot better. You may see things and be kind of perplexed, like, why is that happening? What's going on with the situation? But then when you realize the average person is in the state of retardation, and I'm talking about not the disabled people, I'm talking about regular normies walking around with nothing in their head, no internal monologue, no sense of purpose, no sense of decency, morality, nothing. It just walking around. I'm talking about football helmet status with no sports. Okay. Throw it on your head so you don't bump your head into the wall when you're walking around aimlessly. That's how they are. So they're going to say and do things like that. And like I said before, I was always taught if a guy or a girl was a little bit slow, a little bit, not really with it, a little touched, leave them be. Because whatever they say or do, for the most part, as long as they ain't trying to attack you, let it slide. Let it slide because you know that they're not all the way there. For example, if somebody is clearly not all the way right mentally, like let's say you're in Los Angeles, right? And you're walking down the street and there's a homeless person, okay? Because if you're in Los Angeles, it's going to be a homeless guy. And by the way, Super Bowl Sunday coming in San Francisco. The grinder servers are on fire. I saw a picture of a former NFL football player with a transgender, Jeffree Star. It's like, bro, what are we doing? The grinder servers are on fire in San Francisco because you already got the population that's there, LGBT. Then you're going to port a bunch more for the actual football game. That's why they got male cheerleaders now because of the LGBTs wanting to see the men on the sideline checking what they got. But anyway, I'm getting way off track. Let me come back. So in San Francisco, normally you're going to have homeless people crackheads, all of that just out there. People are there now talking about, oh, it's so beautiful out here. What I think is that they clean these places up before big events. Remember Xi Jinping came to San Francisco? All of a sudden, nobody homeless. It was beautiful. It was great. And they showed those exact same places where Xi Jinping came and did the photo shoot a week or two later. And it was back to Mad Max, back to Zombieland, back to The Walking Dead, back to Crackhead Alley, Dope Fiend Alley, Meth Smoker, Heroin Shooter Alley. That's how it's going to look when the pomp and circumstance goes away from your dignitaries coming into town, world leaders, and now the big game. So, yeah. And people talking about, oh, conservatives are realizing that it's a beautiful city. It looks nice right now because they got it nice and pretty for the visitors. But then when you're off season, I suppose, when you're not in the big game time, when you're not in the leader or trying to come into the actual city, it might not be that way. It might be one block where it's beautiful, turn a corner, and you're seeing a scene out of a zombie movie right in front of your face at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. That's kind of how it is. California, beautiful place, naturally beautiful, but there's a bunch of extra stuff happening with the drugs and the homeless because they enable it. There's a homeless industrial complex in California. People get paid to keep people homeless. People travel from all over the country to be homeless in California. Okay. Free drugs. Well, not free drugs. Kind of, sort of, a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if it was free drugs. Hey, you know what? I would not be surprised if there was a startup in California that focused on giving out free drugs. I would not be surprised. Okay. Donate to this particular fund. You could give away, you could get a tax write-off, and we're going to donate drugs to the people of San Francisco. Free of charge, free of impurities. It'll be safe. I would not be surprised if that was a thing one day. And if it's happening right now, then hey, no surprise here at all. But shout out to the big game. Who do y'all have winning the big game? Patriots or Seahawks? And if you ask me, I have no idea. I'm gonna say Patriots, but I couldn't tell you nothing because I'm not watching no sports in the past little while now. So I have no clue. I might watch it, but I might not. I might just look at some highlights on my phone and have that be that. But who's going to win the big game? I am interested in who's going to actually win and seeing some of the highlights, if it is going to be highlights. All right, that's all I'm interested in is the outcome and some of the big plays, if there are any. But yeah, shout out to you guys. Yeah, exactly, Audrey. Free drugs for sure. Jerry says, too many homeless in San Francisco. Don't go there anymore. Hey, and California is so beautiful, naturally beautiful, but the people there are not beautiful. Well, I ain't gonna say all. I'm gonna say there is a lot of people who are not beautiful. A lot of zombies walking around. Okay, you got very nice folks out there, normies, regular people. You got them out there, but you also got the zombies. All right, you got whole hordes of them out there in California. All right, so Seahawks don't care. All right. That's right, in there. The big game is tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes. Well, Trump might not be able to stop. Somebody says, did Trump stop the drugs? Well, Trump can't stop every drug. I think Trump can slow the drugs down tremendously. I think there was a really big drop-off. What did they say? That there was like one of the biggest drop-offs in overdose deaths in years. I'm not sure how many years it was since this big of a drop-off in overdose deaths, but there is a big drop-off. And I saw a video of a sheriff, might have been in Florida. It might have been, I don't know, I don't think it was Grady Judd. It was somebody saying that there's been a big drop. No, it was a doctor, if I'm not mistaken. I saw the video here. But a doctor was saying that there's a really big drop-off in the overdose deaths from the opiates, from the fentanyl. Now, there's a slight uptick in the meth usage, but the slight uptick in meth is far lower than the overall drop in deaths because of the lack of the opioids. You see? So the things that Trump is doing, the moves that he made, like shutting that border down, most certainly have helped the people of America and our health, which is a big thing. When you say make America healthy again, it's got to be in a variety of ways. It's got to be through your food that you eat, your exercise, and what you consume as far as your drugs and alcohol, all of that, mental health, All of that should be included in becoming healthy, not just eating organic food or whatever, but knowing how to eat, when to eat, how much to eat, and also being drunk and alcohol free, or reducing your consumption of these substances so you're able to function properly in society. So halftime show, Bad Bunny. Are you guys going to be watching, or are you going to take a break on that? Halftime show, Bad Bunny. I'm cool on Bad Bunny. I don't speak in no panty. I don't pick in no panty, right? A little bit. What they say, un poquito? Yeah, un poquito español. That's all I know, right? So he up there, I'll be like, I don't know what's happening. Okay, so I'm good. And Kid Rock, shout out to Kid Rock, but I mean, that's not really my cup of tea either. You know, I'm good. I'd rather do something else or just not watch the game. But I think if we're going to compare halftime shows to each other, that the Kid Rock version will be better than the Bad Bunny for me personally, because I can speak English and I know some of Kid Rock songs. That's the thing. It's the same thing with Kendrick Lamar from the last year. A lot of Americans had no idea who that was. And when he got on stage, they could not understand him. And all they heard was him talking about a pedophile. It's like, what is this? What am I listening to? But the way that the people do, your Rock Nation, Jay-Z, what they do is just bring on the acts that are the biggest in streaming, because it doesn't really matter what the typical football fan in America thinks. It's about, we're going to have a bunch of eyes on this particular show, and we want the biggest acts to be on the biggest show to bring in that money. Because once you do the Super Bowl, you're exposed to more people, which will increase your dominance on the charts. We're talking about streaming, because nowadays it's all about streaming. If you're not Drake, or now Kendrick Lamar, thanks in part to Super Bowl, if you're not these guys, you don't make much money. So everybody's trying to get their piece of the pie to streaming. Back in the day, you go to the store, pay your $10, $15, or whatever it is, get your CD, and you're done. That was the model. So you could just say, all right, I sold 100,000 units. I sold 1 million. I sold 10 million. And we get that money and divide it up. We go do shows. I put the money in my pocket. Merchandise, I put it in my pocket. But now the way the record labels are, you get signed to a label and everything you do is paid to the label first. A 360 deal, your music, your performances, your merchandise, everything. So basically, you just go out there and work. So a person like Meg Thee Stallion, when she went out there and did that for Kamala Harris, she may be able to say with legality, she may be able to legally say that I didn't get paid. Well, somebody got paid, and ultimately the money is because she performed. So whether her label got paid, whether her production company got paid, whether her management got paid, somebody got paid. Okay, just like Oprah, prime example. Oprah says, I did not get paid to do the Kamala Town Hall. Meanwhile, Harper Productions got $1 million, talking about some, oh, that's what the production costs. It doesn't cost $1 million to do the little town hall. All you had was your regular studio and your regular studio audience and your regular equipment. All you got to do, calling your guys, fire it up for an hour, record, edit, and be done. That does not cost 1 million US American cold hard cash dollars. It doesn't. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Thank you to you guys for watching. You guys are the first sponsor. You know I couldn't do any of this without you. But also thank you to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the description, or visit patriotpost.us in your browser. Tell them that ABL sent you. Also go to Cameo. If you want a personalized message for yourself, a loved one, friend, family, whatever, go to cameo.com, search ABL, Anthony Brian Logan, or visit the link in the description for Cameo. Check me out there. Also, please go to my merch website, and we got more merch, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, the 1984. We got the hats, the t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more. The USA 1984. We got a few new things. The MAGA, the new MAGA. I got that coming in a minute, so I'll put it on for you guys probably next week. But anyway, Check out the merch, ablmerch.com, ablmerch.com. Also go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website, and for each long form video that I produce, I write an article, and in each article, we got sources from the left. We have sources from the left, to the right, and the center, politically agnostic, local, national, you know what I'm talking about. We got all the things, all the sources on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There I have my email address, my email address, and UPS box. So of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All my links are right there in the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everything is jumping. Hey, Facebook, we're almost at 200,000. Can you believe it? Just last, I'm going to say August of 25, I hit 100,000. And now February 26, 200,000. So at this rate, hey, you know what? What I really want to do is get to like 1 million people on all the platforms. That'd be something. That'd be amazing. But shout out to you guys on Facebook. You guys are amazing. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, everywhere. I appreciate y'all for what you do. But that would be anthonyblogan.com/contact-us for all the information on how to find me. And if you have been contacted by someone claiming to be me, you probably did not get contacted by me. If you didn't email me at my email address, contact@anthonyblogan.com, which is on the contact page of the website. If I didn't email you, or if you didn't email me first and I respond, it's not me. If you're in the comment section, if you get a weird random text from a crazy number with 1,000 digits, a 234 country code, okay, my area boys, you know what I mean. My guys in Niger, you know what I'm talking about. So you know that the area code is going to be suspicious at best. It's not going to be me. But anyway, hey, if you talk to a guy on the phone claiming to be ABL and he sound like that, hey, I can do that voice, but I ain't gonna play like that on the phone. It's gonna sound like me. I will not sound like this. It's not going to happen. Do not get your hopes up for such a thing. It's not going to ever occur. It's not ever going to happen that way. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I ain't trying to have you guys get scammed in 2026. Don't get scammed. Don't get played. Don't get robbed by somebody with a pair of flip-flops on, okay, walking like Fred Flintstone. You understand what I'm saying? Whether they be in India, Nigeria, Europe, wherever they are. Anyway, we got some things to get to. For you guys who were asking about the video, the infamous meme video, let's get straight to it. Now, if you've not seen this, which I don't know how you've not seen it by now, but I saw somebody say they hadn't seen it yet. So this is a video that Trump posted on Truth Social. Well, let me be clear. When I say Trump posted, I know I got to be clear for everybody. You know, it's like being a teacher. You got to say what you mean and mean what you say. When I say that Trump posted it, I mean Team Trump. I don't mean Trump himself. Let's just talk about that for a second. Let's talk about it for a minute. Hold on. Does anyone actually think that President Trump himself is posting videos on Truth Social? Do you think this 80-year-old man who's running the world is a video clipper, a video editor? Is that what you think for real? Like, seriously? Let's not think that, okay? Let's not think that. No politician is doing their own stuff. They got interns and assistants and everything else. As far as I know, his social media guy, now or for a long time, Dan Scavino. Dan Scavino has a Twitter. You can check him out right now. DANSCAVINO, Dan Scavino. Now, I think that Dan didn't even do this. It probably was a guy that was subbed out. Some, underling, White House intern, something like that. Some young kid, 21 years old, straight out of college, trying to find something to do. Okay, kid, you want something to do? Edit these videos on Truth Social. That's probably what that is. There is no way in the world that Donald Trump himself is editing any video. It's not happening. Okay? Let's be clear. I think it don't matter if you like Trump or hate him. I think we can all agree on that, right? Okay, let's go back. So this video obviously was posted by someone on Truth Social for Trump. Okay. But what they did was rush to put the video up without editing it properly. And the way they did it was with the screen record. Now, the way I get videos is I have apps that will download the video directly without having to do a screen record. I have those apps for every social media platform. So a lot of times I'll show you guys videos that I have downloaded with those apps. So there's no Instagram logo on it, no TikTok logo on it. I have apps for that. What this kid did was just screen record it, which is not the optimal way to do it because you're going to get a lower quality video. You're going to get user interface elements in there. It'll make for unattractive video. But when you just putting up stuff and you're like 20 years old, you're not getting paid no money, sometimes you cut corners, which is obvious. But let's watch this, right?
Initiated by a court order, the Michigan investigation team obtained forensic access to a DS200 tabulator, the machine that counts the votes. A Telit 4G wireless chip manufactured in Taiwan was discovered embedded into the motherboard. The voting machine tapes clearly indicate modem engagement and transmission of election data. Some of the anomalies that we noticed in the 2020 general elections, that 5 key states all stopped counting at a certain time in these key battleground states. These were all where the software, Dominion machines, ES&S machines were used, the Smartmatic, the GEMS software. So when the vote stopped counting, and this has been noted in other countries as well, President Trump was significantly ahead. When reporting and counting resumed, there was a massive spike occurred that favored Joe Biden.
Okay, so look, there's 2 things that happen here. Now, obviously, the video was playing, he was recording it, and the way Twitter works, if you guys don't know, well, x.com, formerly Twitter, you can have it on auto scroll. So when you're watching the video, like the same way it is on YouTube, if you watch YouTube Shorts, if you're on TikTok, if you're on Instagram, you could just watch the video and then swipe. Watch a video and then swipe. You could just keep swiping, like doom scrolling. Basically, you're scrolling through videos, right? On Twitter, you could watch a video, and once it's complete, it'll auto scroll. So it's the same thing as you scrolling yourself manually by swiping up. It'll do that automatically. So whatever the next video is in your feed will come up. And in this case, it just happened to be this meme video that came up next in the guy's feed. You see? Let me see if I can just slow it down for a minute so you can see the transition. Okay. And obviously, you know, this was not something that was part of this video because why would it be? And let's turn the sound down. Okay, you saw the little transition right there. You can see it right here. You can see the frame. Let's see if I could pause on the frame. See? You see the frame coming in? Because it's swiping up. This is a screen recording. And then after this frame comes up, oops, we ain't mean to do that. Let's swipe back to the first video. Swipe back to the first video. There we are. See? See how that happened? This piece of the video right here, you see where it ends? That's the whole video. See, it ends right there. But this piece of the video was the beginning because they swiped back to the video and it played over again. See, this is obvious to me as a video editor. And I see someone laughing. That's funny, but don't nobody want to come and say nothing to me. Per usual, coward. Anyway, what I'm saying is correct. Anybody that has done any kind of video editing would know it to be correct, right? But people just want to make it be a big thing because whatever Trump is linked to is blown out of proportion all the time, every time. That's what happens. Now, I want anybody to tell me in the chat right now if you don't agree with me, if you think this was done on purpose. And my question would be, what would be the benefit? Why would he do that? What's the reasoning behind that? Like the video was about election interference, stolen election data. Why would he poison the video about election data? What would be the purpose? Now, some are going to have this big, crazy, harebrained scheme that Trump did this to bring attention to the topic. I don't think the fallout politically would be worth the attention. So it doesn't make any sense. This was a clear mistake. Now I'm going to read some of the comments here. Now, this was not the intern doing it on purpose because it don't even make no sense. Why would you do something like that? It's just, no. And also, how would you do it on purpose? You're screen recording from, you're screen recording from Twitter, and it auto scrolls, and another video pops up by mistake. So, nah, I don't think it was on purpose. I think it was a clear mistake. It was an accident. It happens. I've done that before, where you think one video is there, and you upload too much of the video, or you put it up unedited. That happens. You know, mistakes happen. Everything is not always a conspiracy. Everything is not always something that is done for a bad reason. Sometimes mistakes happen, but people don't really get grace when they're already not liked to begin with. If somebody thought that Trump is a racist and they think conservatives are racist, they're going to find things that they want to see to verify their predetermined notion. That's why when I said, why is my texting my, hey, y'all texting me about this video. Hey, y'all are texting me about this video because to some people, it confirms what they already think, that Trump's a racist, right? And it's funny seeing all these mainstream media outlets just post this screenshot and not the whole video, right? That's funny how that works, okay? Deceptively editing things on their own. But then they say that you can't have a mistaken editing. Make that make sense. But anyway, people see what they want to see. I can show you videos of actual racism, black ICE agents being called the N-word by white people. It's fine. Nobody says, hey, everybody sleep. Nobody say nothing. N-word, 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 N-word. Obama has monkeys, put out by Trump. Now everybody's awake. All right. It's fine. Again, it's not even about racism. It's not about being offended. It's simply about people wanting to use something to attack others with it, to bludgeon them with it. That's all that it's about. Okay. Now, I'm going to read some of the comments here before I continue. Okay. They posted it too quick, not relaxed, just wanting to get the voter out. They're just posting stuff real quick. And it's a bunch of videos just like that on True Social, where it's like you got TikTok logos on it. You could tell that it's not videos that have been uploaded with care. It's just kind of like thrown up there because no one's watching True Social, not very many people, so they don't really care about the quality of the content. And it's content that matters. It's not just nothing, but sometimes you just don't cross all your I's and you don't cross all your T's out all your I's. You just kind of throwing stuff up there because it ain't really no big deal, right? Greg says, a lie can travel halfway around the world before the truth can lace up his boots. Exactly. When you're a hammer, everything's a nail. That's right. Trichome 79. Absolutely. Okay. He could actually have a racist do an AI picture, but he's not even that savvy. Yeah. And then they thought that Trump was the guy, or they thought that Team Trump were the ones responsible for the meme video, where it's a whole account, a guy by the name of Zerius. And it's actually the guy's name is on the thing. It's on the picture. It's on the video. His tag is on there. Now, he could have done an easy search and found it and found that video on Twitter. But again, people just want to take whatever they can, and they're desperate to find a way to attack President Trump. That's all. All right, but let's keep on going here. I'm going to read some more of these, and then I keep rocking and rolling. All right. Antara says, most people today have Columbo's quirks, but not his analytical brain, ABL. Hey, I see that. Revelation says, I agree, ABL. He had no reason whatsoever to do that. Maybe the employee was a Trojan horse. I don't think so. I think that it was simply a mistake because I've done that kind of stuff before. Not necessarily putting a racist video at the end of a video that I didn't mean to, but I've done it where I put a video up and then another video was in there by mistake. I've done that. And I have been doing this for a very long time, 20 years. We all make mistakes. Ain't nobody perfect. I don't like the fact that if you are a conservative, you're given no room for error at all. No room for error. You know, Joe Biden made plenty of errors. Joe Biden then fell on his hind parts, all that, and it was okay. Can you imagine what would happen if Trump fell one time? Let alone several times. Like, Joe Biden did, but just one time. You see, there are different levels here. There are different standards, different people. You judge liberals by one standard, Republicans by another. If you're a conservative, you're a Republican, you're judged one way. Liberal Democrat, you're judged entirely differently. That's just the truth. That's just reality. All right. Now, here is Trump speaking about the whole situation.
So, do you have any questions, John?
Mr. President, social media post that you took down earlier today, the White House says that a staffer sent it. Who sent it, and are you going to fire them?
No, I looked at it. I saw it, and I just looked at the first part. It was about voter fraud in someplace, Georgia. There was a lot of voter fraud, 2020 voter fraud, and I didn't see the whole thing. I guess during the end of it, there was some kind of a picture that people don't like. I wouldn't like it either, but I didn't see it. I looked at the first part, and it was really about voter fraud in and the machines, how crooked it is, how disgusting it is. Then I gave it to the people. Generally, they look at the whole thing, but I guess somebody didn't, and they posted, and we took it down, and we did it. You know, but that was a voter fraud that nobody talks about. They don't like to talk about that post. We took it down as soon as we found out about it.
Mr. President,
Exactly. So it's like, what's the big deal? Man, people are talking about it's been up for 10 hours, ABL. It's been up for 10 hours. I can't believe this. Every hour it's up. I get closer to death. I'm going to die. It's like, man, come on. It ain't that deep. The dramatics with this has been crazy. So dramatic over nothing. Because, again, it's about trying to attack Trump. So whatever you can kind of get, you're going to seize on it, and you're going to blow it out of proportion. You're going to literally you're going to make a mountain out of a molehill, literally, with this whole situation. With anything that Trump does.
A number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake. I mean, I look at a lot of thousands of things. I looked at the beginning of it. It was fine. They had that one post, and I guess it was a takeoff. By the way, a lot of people covered. If you look at where it came from, I guess it was a takeoff on The Lion King. And certainly it was a very strong post in terms of voter fraud. Nobody knew that was at the end. If they would have looked, they would have seen it. And probably they would have had the sense to take it down. But that was a takeoff on The Lion King. And a lot of people were covered on in different positions. So, but I spoke to Tim Scott. He was great.
And Tim Scott, all these guys, man, so soft. It's so soft, man. That's not gonna succeed, man. Like, that ain't really it. Like, all you could just say is go ahead and just delete that because it's gonna be perceived poorly. And obviously, anybody with a brain could just see it was a mistake. Like, I don't even know why it was really a thing. I'm so surprised at that video that I put out did so well. It's like, really? Y'all care about this? We talking about meme videos that are put up by mistake. Obviously, this is not done on purpose. Anybody, like, it's not even, I'm getting triggered. I'm getting triggered. Okay. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. All right, hold on. There's more we got to get to. Give me 1 second here. So the question, will this hurt you with Black Republican voters?
Does this post maybe hurt Republicans with, Black voters after the...
I think, look, we did criminal justice reform. I did the historically Black colleges and universities. I got them funded. Nobody has been, and that's why I got the highest vote with male Black voters that they've seen in many, many decades. I've done great with them. Black voters have been great to me. I've been great to them. Black voters have been great to me. I've been great to them. And I am, by the way, the least racist president you've had in a long time, as far as I'm concerned. I've had a great relation. Think of what I've done. Criminal justice reform. Nobody else could do it. Obama couldn't do it. Nobody could do it. Clinton couldn't do it. They actually went the other way. They went into a very bad thing for African American people, Black people. They did very bad things. I did very good things. But criminal justice reform, and then I funded the universities, which nobody else was willing to do. They were going every year. They'd come back to Washington, and they'd be begging for money, begging. I got to be friendly with some of the heads of the schools, and they would come back and they would literally tell me they're forcing us to beg. I'm the one that got them long-term financing and more than they were looking for. So there's nobody that's done more. And I think maybe more than anything else was criminal justice reform. They've been trying to get it for years, and I'm the one that got it done. So nobody can tell me about that. That somebody posts, a staffer, posts, and I knew it was all about. If you take a look at that and see the whole thing, it was a small section at the very end, but that was about fraudulent elections.
Exactly. So there we go. There we have it. Very simple. And let's keep going here. Okay. This is going to be Stephen Davis. You may know him as Maca Hulk, talking about the whole situation. Very well explained as well. You guys give him a follow on the Instagram, YouTube, wherever he's at. Again, Stephen Davis, 1776, all one on Instagram. Check him out.
Oh, the Trump video. Yeah, I saw the Trump video and everything in its proper context. Trump's team is at most careless for doing a bad video edit or a bad upload because, y'all saw what it was. There was a video that was obviously being screen recorded. And when that video ended, the next video autoplayed of the Obamas, and it wasn't made by Trump or Trump's team. And it was only a second before that video cuts out. Now, someone who does videos for a living, I understand how it goes and feels to do an incomplete edit or upload the wrong video, so I chalk it up to that. So in its proper context, it doesn't appear to be nefariously motivated or anything like that. But I will definitely say this. Little mistakes like this have lasting implications because obviously he is the commander-in-chief. So these type of things cannot happen when it comes to someone in his capacity. So he has to tighten up his ship, honestly, when it comes to him as president and be more careful and mindful when it comes to his team and his team's actions, because they're all under the microscope, so they have to keep it microscopically clean when it comes to the left and their nefarious ideologies and nefarious attacks against people like us on the right side of history. So let this be a lesson to all of us. We have to keep it clean. We have to keep it kosher. We have to dot all of our I's across all of our T's. We have to make sure we are on point when it comes to the unfortunate, dubious nature of the left.
There it is. So again, that is Stephen Davis, 1776. You may know him as Maca Hulk. Smart guy. Really, really smart guy. Shout out to all the smart people out there giving their takes on the whole situation, letting everybody know what time it is. Okay. Now, unfortunately, there are some not so good takes out there. Let's go to CNN, shall we? Let's see what they're talking about. All right. Let's see what they got going on over on the Common News Network. Somebody asking me an unrelated question, per usual. Somebody says, who is Supercar Blondie? I have no idea. Are you trying to promote yourself? Like, what's going on with that? If I Google that, will I find you?
But I guess does it reflect on, if you are a Trump supporter and it doesn't matter to you that he is trafficking in racist tropes, does that reflect back on you?
If you were a Menendez supporter, who got convicted of bribes.
In a really ugly incident we saw in Minnesota, protesters called an ICE officer the N-word.
Those protesters are not the president.
Nah. See, now Abby, come on now. Don't do that, Abby. Because you understand that there's been a really big push from y'all on these networks, on the left, to push against ICE, to protest ICE. But a lot of your people that you are calling to go out there, people that support you and your message, they're out there calling black ICE agents the N-word. So do you want to put a lid on the behavior from your viewers? Because again, this is your people out there doing this. You don't want to say anything to them? Use your platform to speak against racism against black ICE agents? Or is it not really about racism? It's about Donald Trump. As y'all say, saying his whole name. You might as well say Donald John Trump every time you talk about him. But anyway.
Leftists have to own that?
That was unacceptable too.
I don't think that leftists have to own that. I don't think that Republicans have to own.
He is the president. That's a important fact here. He is the president. Let me play with the primary.
All right, there we go. So yeah, shout out to them. We got a little bit more here. Did we ever figure out who Supercar Blondie is, or was that just a random comment for no reason? What's going on? And if I attacked you for no reason, to the person that asked me the question, I'm sorry. Okay, now here's a question from Ashley Allison, and I met her one time. Not really met her. We did a podcast together back in 24, I believe, right after the election. And if you guys saw that, this is Hardly Initiated. It was a podcast where I was like at my house with the headset on and everything. It was me and who was with me? I can see if I can think of her name. But it was me and a conservative black woman. Y'all know what I'm talking about. She's on YouTube, conservative black woman. She has like blonde dreads and stuff like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Someone give me her name in the chat, please. But it was me and her against Ashley Allison and D1, the rapper. And D1, this guy is cold retard. I mean, I'm sorry. D1 is not a very intellectual person. And the funny part is that the guy D1 on that podcast is a professor. Blindly in the blind, quite literally. Okay. And no, it's not Supercar Blondie. Okay. That's not who it was. All right. It was not. Well, no damn Tree Elijah. I know Tree. It wasn't her. It was I'm a play this and then I remember at the end of it.
That as a person with eyes.
Thank you, Vania, Melanie King. So on the podcast in 2024 after the election, while initiated, it was me and Melanie King. She's great, by the way. Y'all follow her. Against her, Ashley Allison right here, and a rapper by the name of D1. They were liberals, but they're conservatives. So she has a question. Ashley has a question for black conservatives. How do you feel after the Trump-Obama monkey video came out?
I think that as a person with eyes and ears, I'm not surprised that this is who Donald Trump is. But this is the problem, is that every time he does something that signifies racism, that signifies being a racist, the goalpost moves. It's, oh, we shouldn't have been 30. Let me tell you why people can come to the conclusion about his racist behaviors. Because in the 70s, when he discriminated against black people in housing.
Ashley, really, Ashley? You gonna do that? So he got sued, or his apartment got sued, or the manager got sued, and that means that Trump's a racist? Ashley, don't do that. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me come back.
Because in the 70s, when he discriminated against black people in housing, that was racist. In the 80s and 90s, when he called for the execution of the Central Park Five, only for them to be exonerated because they did not commit the crime against a white woman, reflecting what Abby talked in her opening segment, that was a racist. And even after they were exonerated, he still called for them to be prosecuted.
Let's pause. Central Park Five. These guys, for a brief history lesson, anybody from New York or know the story better, if I'm saying anything wrong, correct me in the comments. But there are a bunch of teens in Central Park wilding, attacking people, running around, acting the fool. Now, people got assaulted, beat up, or whatever. And these 5 guys were arrested and put in jail for it. Now, they were later exonerated. But at that time, it was not a racial thing to call for these guys to be prosecuted to the fullest extent. It was a black, white, whatever. It was a New Yorker thing. And Trump, again, is a New Yorker from Jamaica, Queens. So it was a thing like, man, get them guys out of here because of what they did to those people. It wasn't about, because they're black, keep them in jail. Because, again, Trump was always a friend to the black community. He was never an enemy against us. Okay? People like this want to say black folks accused of attacking other black folks should get benefit of the doubt. They should just kind of be like, oh, they really didn't do anything. So it's okay when you attack black people if you're black. But if you call for people that attack black people to actually get arrested and held accountable, you're the bad person. Bizarre world.
That is racist behavior. When he ran for the first term, he birthed his career off of demonizing a black man and saying he wasn't American and that he wasn't.
Okay, I'm sorry for the interruptions. Ashley, I know you're listening to me right now. Come on. I remember 2008 when Obama ran. I was watching that election. I remember Hillary Clinton running up against him. I remember her campaign manager at the time, Rahm Emanuel. I don't know if he was a manager or something, but he was around. Rahm or whoever that was in her camp, they started the birther movement. And I remember being mad because at the time I was an Obama guy, 2008. I'm young. I'm 24 years old. I ain't know nothing. So I was an Obama guy. Yeah, black president. Again, I'm young. I didn't know no better. I remember being upset at Hillary Clinton because she started the birther movement. And if it wasn't her, it was somebody in her campaign who started it back then. All Trump did was take it and run with it. Same thing with the fake news narrative. Hillary Clinton did a whole speech about fake news. Trump takes it and runs with it. And then they say Trump is the one who spread the narrative about fake news, trying to delegitimize the mainstream media. Meanwhile, it was Hillary Clinton who came up with the whole idea of fake news. She coined that term in modern popularity. And then Trump uses it. He's the bad guy. Her team starts the birther movement. Trump uses it. He's the bad guy. Anyway, she won't gaslight me or give me this Mandela effect thing. I know what I heard. I know what I saw.
One of us. In his actual first term, he called African countries shithole and asshole countries.
Well, he didn't say a-hole, but he did say s-hole, and you can't deny it because you ain't trying to live there, Ashley. Hey, Ashley, if I said, you trying to go to Haiti, live in Port-au-Prince, what you going to do? You going to say yeah or no? Come on now. You living in Atlanta or wherever you living at, you rather would live there than Port-au-Prince or Canarsie, Guinea or somewhere. You don't want to live there. You want to live right here in the comfy and beautiful US of A. Please stop playing games. And if you had to go somewhere else, you would not pick an African nation unless it was South Africa or maybe like Tunisia or something.
And then most recently, he posts monkeys. He said they were eating the cats and dogs. I don't have to take 1 second of a video that he says he does not, he did not see. Problematic, point blank, period, should be enough, but it's a history of it. So what are we supposed to say? Oh, just keep moving the goalposts until we're literally in the depths of hell? No. His behavior is his behavior. And at one point in time, over the last 4 weeks, let's just say last 4 weeks, children will look and say, and I think they will refer this time period to the time period when little black kids walked into segregated schools and there were people screaming at them, calling the most obscene words possible. And I just plead with people, you don't want to be those people that wanted to stop segregation. You have to stand in the gap and call a right and a wrong, and you can still support his policies, but you cannot support that behavior.
Okay, so there was a whole lot there, Ashley. But yeah, I don't like trying to bring black folks into this. I really don't like it. You know, segregation, integration, all that kind of stuff has nothing to do with anything. And she was speaking about this picture right here. Now, if you're new to this channel, I have a story about this picture. Just a quick story, nothing really major. So this picture was from Little Rock. This is Little Rock 9. Well, this is part of the Little Rock 9. That is lady right there, Elizabeth Eckford. I know her grand niece from Virginia. I ain't gonna say her name. Shout out to you if you're watching. Now, what the girl I know, what she told me is that later on in life, the lady right there in the back screaming and her aunt became good friends. That's what she told me. You can't take a snapshot of a time and just judge everybody based on that, because you got cultural things. You don't really know a lot. You ignorant, but you learn as you grow. So don't try to use that moment to bolster your argument against Trump because you think he's a racist already. You're using examples from the past that you believe in. So again, if Trump was to apologize for that video, it's not gonna make a difference. Because you already believe the whole 1970s discrimination thing. You believe the whole thing, Central Park 5, like that was racist. You believe all these things already. So what good is it going to do if Trump apologizes? All it's going to do is make him be apologetic in general and do it all the time for no benefit. Okay. Now we got a little bit more here.
Tim Scott said, this is the most racist post I've ever seen come out of this administration. And as someone pointed out on
Tim Scott kind of, you know,
social media. What was the second most racist post you'd ever seen come out of this administration? Since when is that the bar?
Yeah. I mean, when I saw this today, it's the dual feelings that you identify, both shocked and not shocked at all, because this is someone who, this is not only a racist post, but a president who is engaged in racist policies, who has encouraged racist rhetoric from his supporters, who came to office on behind a racist conspiracy about Barack Obama. So this,
bro, how are your eyes that big? I'm sorry, but him and Ashley, shout out to Ashley. But I mean, I can't do my eyes like that. Maybe that's that 1% feeling pillow I got. Make my eyes real kind of like, hey, I can't, to do this right here, that what he's doing with his eyes. I can't do it. It's uncomfortable.
Who came to office on behind a racist conspiracy about Barack Obama. So this is all within his kind of political history. I guess I would also say that when you think about the Tim Scotts or some of the black conservatives, I know Byron Donalds was on the phone with the White House today. It feels to me as if I've never seen someone sign up or give up some of their values for Donald Trump and they don't get embarrassed in the end, And so I think it's inevitable when you kind of cede some of yourself and your values to him. He ensures embarrassment.
And that's actually part of the political strategy.
And I think that how much folks will take is a question he will always get to.
All right, there we go. So shout out to my man. I guess he sees the future. He sees what we don't see. I guess maybe you see something I don't see. Maybe you see something that I don't see. Just maybe, because I don't really see it the way you see it. I don't really view things the same way that you view it. I don't look through your lens. I can't see life through your opticals. You understand what I'm saying? I can't really do that. So shout out to him, but I don't agree with you, bro. I don't see things your way. Okay, that's enough. Dad jokes. All right, let's keep going. So now we have Malik. All right, Malik. I know him a little bit. He used to be on my Facebook page. I had to block him, man. He used to get on my nerves. But they have him as a Republican strategist on television. But let me tell you something. When you're seeing these Republican strategists, you may not be seeing a true Republican strategist. This guy is a liberal. I mean, look, he was on my page for many years on Facebook. I had to block him because he was always kind of like a moderate guy. Always kind of like, but over the past few weeks, I don't know, man, he went into overdrive. So let's hear from the so-called Republican strategist on CBS.
I'm glad that the president deleted the tweet. I hear what they say, and I'll be honest. I don't believe that this was a lower level staffer. I don't believe that it wasn't intentional. And I say that because this is one of many instances where the president or the people around the president have made sort of these type of things that could be racially, we'll say even racially insensitive, and the White House hasn't backed out from it. We saw that during this time last year with the Doge staffer, and J.D. Vance was one of those who said that the person who made those, he was a young guy, bring him on back. We saw it again with the New York Republic.
Oh, you're talking about, okay, so you're talking about there was a Doge staffer who had some tweets from years ago that were considered to be inappropriate or racist or something like that. It's like, really? We talking about that? So you're going to mention a Doge staffer. Like, all right, come on. Okay, so let's say you have Amazon, right? And you got Jeff Bezos. If somebody at an Amazon warehouse has a sketchy Twitter, is that Jeff Bezos' fault? Do you think Jeff Bezos knows this person and hired him specifically? Okay, all right, Walmart Tavius in Memphis, Tennessee, I'm going to go do a background check on you personally as Jeff Bezos before you get hired to make $10 an hour. Is that what we think? Is that the thought process that we have here?
Republicans, where they made both racist and anti-Semitic marks with the New York Republicans, J.D. Vance kind of embraced him then. We saw.
Matter of fact, don't even worry about it. All right, Malik, that's enough. Look, when you're seeing one thing about the news, they rarely have masculine black males there. They're gonna have guys like this who will say they're Republicans, but gonna give you a straight liberal narrative, a liberal LGBTQ narrative, Malik. That's what you're giving right now. So be careful. Just like the way any news station is pretty much like that. I think Fox is the only one that's not like that with Lawrence. Shout out to Lawrence. Okay. Sometimes he kind of a little funny too, but anyway.
Look,
back to CNN. This is going to be Brian Tyler Cohen, I believe. He has a big channel, a big liberal guy. And one thing I was thinking about today, I was like, okay, on the right, we have conservative influencers, but who are the liberal influencers? Who are the Democrat influencers? What, guys like Harry Sisson, who was a flamingo in the infamous video of the Obamas with the monkeys? Who are their guys that they look to on their side? Who are the influencers of the left? That's what I want to know. And I think one of them is a guy right here you're going to hear from in a minute with the powder blue coat on.
Look, I think the reason that Donald Trump did this, that he engaged in this whole process where, to your exact point, we didn't see an apology for hours and hours and hours and hours, is because he...
It's been 10 hours, ABL. The video is still up. If it's another hour, I'm not going to survive.
Hours and hours, is because he is a small, petty, fragile man who cannot take responsibility for his own actions. And the second reason, frankly, is because he is a racist. And we have seen Donald Trump engage in racist activity in the past, numerous times. We watched as Donald Trump took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the...
I mean, they got the same talking points. It's like, you know what? One thing I don't like is when I'm watching somebody talk on the internet and it seems like it's very scripted. It is very by the book, by the numbers. There's no creativity in it. You're just basically an NPC reading your lines, an actor reading your lines. Can we get something real from your actual heart? Can we get a real thing from you rather than you just hear a particular word, a particular subject matter, and you just react to it with pre-written lines like your AI? You're being fed information and you will spit out whatever your logic in your brain that's been programmed for you tells you to spit out. That's how they are. Because we just heard Ash say the same thing. The New York Times article, Central Park 5, the renting the black folks in the 70s, this, that, and the third. The same old 2 little 3 things they say.
The execution of 5 black kids for murdering someone who they did not murder. We saw Donald Trump start his political career by denying the citizenship of the first black president.
There you go. There go another one. So, okay. Hey, if you're playing a drinking game right now, please drink responsibly. If you're playing a drinking game right now, to see what he's going to say that Ashley said earlier, as far as what Trump did negatively, that so-called racist. If you're playing a drinking game right now, please drink responsibly, okay?
President. And right now, we're watching a secret police force rove around the country so that they can round up brown and black people for the crime of being brown and black in this country.
Brown and black. And wait a minute, before we go any further, it's not about black people. Let's come back. Let me come back. The ICE deportations have nothing to do with black people. And when I say black people, I mean black Americans specifically, respectfully. Shout out to my African people or Indian or whatever kind of, if you brown, whatever he wants to, because you know how they do. They'll say black and brown to mean non-white. So they try to put black Americans in the same box as everybody else. And we're not. We're not. Okay. I don't pick it no panty. I don't pick no French. So I'm not like, some of the Caribbean people. I'm not a Mexican. I'm not a Dominican. I'm not an African. I'm an American. So don't put us all in the same category. And we are born here. We have been here for hundreds of years, Brian. We're not going nowhere. Now, I don't know when you got here, Mr. Cohen. I don't know when you got here, Mr. Cohen. Okay, but I've been here since 1600s. When did you get here? Where's your mom born at? British Mandate, Palestine? Okay, I'm going too far.
And to claim then that Donald Trump is somehow not racist is just to deny what we can all see with our own eyes.
Well, first of all, it's not a secret police group. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers are here to enforce the immigration laws.
Do they show their faces?
Of the United States.
Are they wearing insignia?
Who is this? It's like, wait a minute. I was just watching Brian, right? Just reacting to him. All of a sudden, we got hot blonde. Like, what in the world's going on? All right.
They give their names? Do they have badges?
Okay, there we go. So, yeah, that would have been a great clip if it was more of her and less of Mr. Powder Blue here, Mr. Cohen here. But anyway, yeah, the same old talking points, nothing. And I don't like the issues of black Americans being lumped in with other non-whites. I don't like that at all. And really it's racist because that's the whole Jim Crow thing. The 1 drop rule, where they said if you got one drop of black in you, you're black. That's why Richard Dolezal can say that I'm black. It's like, no, ma'am, you are about as white can be. You're looking like you from the Kingdom of Great Britain originally. Like you could have been Queen Elizabeth in an alternate universe. So you're not black. But anyway, this is going to be Katie Pavlich and Chris Cuomo, a.k.a. Fredo. All right, let's keep watching. Shout out to The Godfather.
It was not handled the best way. They should have immediately investigated it and realized that it was an automatic scroll into a video, which, as you did play, depicted a number of people and animals. Is it silly? Yes. But was it vindictive? And does it classify the president of the United States as a racist? No. And I think if you look at his policies, people in his cabinet, the people who have visited the White House, including Nicki Minaj recently, to call him a racist or to imply that he is one based on that video is very disingenuous and lacking context.
Well, too bad. Because let me tell you something. If you don't want somebody to call you that, then you don't do things like this. He didn't show Biden and everybody else. They just showed the Obama part. So it doesn't.
I mean, a moron, or you're just not listening, or you're just prepared to answer. You're prepared to respond with what you already wanted to say, and you're not listening to what she is saying. She said that it was an auto scroll automatically up. So why would you say that Trump didn't show the full video? There was never an intention to show the full video. And that's part of the reason why I say to Katie especially, and to everybody, don't spend any time trying to defend the video itself, because there was no intention on posting the video. It was a mistake. Very obvious. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. All right. Now, we got a guy from the UK sticking his nose in our business. Okay, hold on. All right. You gonna have my browser crash? Like, what's going on? Oh, no, we good. How about to say, a guy from the UK sticking his nose in our business.
This is
a black Brit. All right, black Brit. Let's check him out.
This is one of the most racist things I've ever seen come out of a world leader, I think at any point during my lifetime, and maybe during your lifetime as well. And the trope of black people being caricatured as apes is a decades old, centuries old racist trope that comes from the idea that black people are less advanced than other races, and therefore we as black people are closer to apes than we are closer to the rest of humanity. And so when we're depicted as apes, it is a racist trope. This is one of the
all right, so first of all, mind your business, Mr. UK. Stay over there. Hey, stay on your side of the pond. Stay over there. And then beyond that, everybody knows it was a mistake. It wasn't like, there's no point in trying to debate the actual video. Some are going to get offended, some are not. Some are going to say it's funny, some are not. Those opinions don't matter because there was no intention of posting the video. But again, let's just put it out there and say that he did it, and then I'm going to be offended. Now, my last one on that, then I'm going to move forward for real because I'm tired of it. Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith is kind of a moron when it comes to politics a little bit. I like his takes sometimes, but I think Stephen A. Smith has quite a while. I think Stephen A. has quite a ways to go when it comes to being educated on politics. When you're talking about sports and popular culture to a certain extent, you're fantastic. But politics, you're a little shaky. You start to let your feelings get involved rather than what the reality is. And if you're going to be any kind of way in politics, you want to be the president, Stephen A. Smith? I would never. If you're going to be soft and lead with your emotions, you're not going to be able to lead. A good leader is not led by his emotions. A good leader does right for the country. Okay? A good leader makes good moves for the country. He does not make moves based on how he feels, based on his heart or his feelings being hurt. But let's watch Stephen A. Smith, shall we?
That same guy is the guy in the White House using his administration to tell you he had nothing to do with a post that has his fingerprints and his smell and his stench written all over it. I should just be one of millions of voices that's speaking against this kind of nonsense. Even if it is some White House staffer who made a mistake, which I don't believe it was him. I don't believe that for 1 second. But if it was, what's their name?
Now, Stephen A. We're not going to do that. You're not going to dox some little kid. You're not going to dox some 21-year-old over a mistake and ruin his life. We're not going to do that. No, because it ain't that deep. Keep that name private, because what y'all do, you put his name out there and then go to his house and try to do something to him. Y'all already done, when I say y'all, I mean leftists, y'all already done shot Charlie and you shot Trump. So why would he throw somebody under the bus for such a small mistake like that? So y'all go get him. See, that's why you kind of retarded, and that's why you're not really fit for office. Because you could think that it was a bad thing to do. Okay, fine. But why would you try to dox somebody like that? To have them get harmed? For what?
Are they still working for you? Did you suspend them? Did you fire them? Or are you using taxpayer dollars to say, way to go, do it again?
It's probably a company, a organization that is being paid to do all the uploads and editing and stuff like that on True Social. So it's probably not one guy. I think I said earlier that Dan Scavino is his main social media guy, and Dan could have subbed this out, but it's probably a whole different group that Dan may oversee, and they oversee the people that actually do the work. You see, so it's not like Trump is even in charge of the hiring and firing of the editors on that team. And the team has probably been good to him for a long time, and he believes in loyalty. He's not going to throw you under the bus and crucify you over a small mistake that one of your staffers made. If you have a good relationship with people, and I've been here before, as a guy, I've been self-employed for a long time. Sometimes, let's say you send an order to somebody, like back in my day, I used to do the print jobs. I used to do game runs. I would do like 9 jobs at a time, 10 jobs at a time to print. Now, sometimes I get it and it's not perfect. I order 2,500, I get 2,000. I'm not going to just throw them under the bus and go off on them. It's a mistake. We can keep on going and doing business. Okay, that's all that this is. And I know Trump has had that kind of experience before, when you're into building, you're dealing with subcontractors and things ain't all the way right. If it's not perfect, it's okay, because ain't nobody perfect. But you're going to find the best what you can do with and stick with them and be loyal to them and incentivize them to do better. That's how it works in business. So Stephen A., that's why you're retarded and you shouldn't be the president, because you don't understand how to deal with that. We talking about people. You know how to be a good employee, how to be a good worker, and shout out to you for that. But being a leader, you're not ready. So would you vote for a Stephen A. Smith for president? Not me, because you're showing already poor leadership skills. And that's not what I want in my president. I don't care, black, white, Puerto Rican, the candy stripe. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. There's quite a bit I wanted to get to, but my time is so limited. I'm going to try to keep going forward here. All right, let's do this. Where are we going to go? Okay, I think I wanted to show this one. Yeah, this is from Bakari Sellers talking about, hold on. Let me get it queued up properly. And so Bakari Sellers, and what is Bakari Sellers? Is he in government at this moment? Bakari Sellers, he is an attorney and a politician. He was in the South Carolina House from 06 to 14. So I guess now he's just like a commentator, kind of like his friend Don Lemon. Anyway, here is Bakari with his friend Don talking about there needs to be a cleansing, a purge. What did he say? What's the word did he say? He said there needs to be, he said it needs to be a fumigate. He said it should be a fumigation of MAGA. All right, I don't like that. That's like how you kill roaches or something like this, right? Do you guys want to be fumigated? I know I don't. Let's watch. Oh, and before I begin, I see a comment from Monet Hayward. Okay, welcome back, Monet. You've been in the chat before. One of these trolls that can't get enough of ABL, talking about some ABL thinks Trump likes his kind. Trump is not for you. As I said before, I'm not worried about you liking me. You can hate me all you want to. Now, if you try to put your hands on me, if you want to fumigate me, now we got a problem. if you just don't like me, I don't care who you are. You could be Trump, you could be Bakari Sellers or whoever. I'm going to do what's best for me. And what's best for me is voting for the conservative side rather than voting for guys like Bakari that's talking about they want to fumigate MAGAs. I've never heard Trump say a thing like that, but whatever.
You know, Joe Biden was somewhat of a bridge. He was supposed to be a bridge or a palate cleanser or somebody who morally and ethically was antithetical to who Donald Trump was. You know, Uncle Joe was the nice guy, older white guy, comes in and you want to eat ice cream with him, right?
No, I don't want to do that, bro. You know, kind of sound like the guy from Family Guy, the little neighborhood pedophile. You want some ice cream? Something like that, bro. I don't want that. But anyway.
Well, I think what that...
Ice cream? When have you ever thought about having just ice cream with a random older white guy? Like, when has ever been a thing? Hey, there's an older white guy. Let's go to the ice cream shop. Never have I never, Bakari.
Comes in and you want to eat ice cream with him, right? Well, I think what that episode in our country's history showed us is that we really need some fumigation, right? We need a exorcism, for lack of a better term. We need a more aggressive approach to go in and surgically remove the cancer that is the Donald Trump and MAGA movement.
All right, there we go. So, hey, Bakari, I got news for you, bro. I got news for you. We're not going nowhere. The conservatives, black conservatives, white conservatives, we're not going nowhere. Okay, we about to get Marco Rubio in 2028 and keep the party going. Okay, we ain't going nowhere. You, on the other hand, and your friend dying, and your white man you want to go have ice cream with, a neighborhood pedophile, I don't know where y'all going to go. I don't know where y'all going to go, but we're going to be here. So I don't know what to tell you, bro. You better figure something else out because that's not going to be a very good strategy going forward. That will not be a good strategy going forward. And tell Donna I said it. I know you're going to talk to him tonight when anyway. Let me stop talking. I talk a little bit too much sometimes. I talk a little bit too much. I apologize, Bakari and Dine. Okay. Let's go to Mike Tyson. Okay. Been a Trump fan because Tyson is like Trump. They're both loyal people. If you rocking with them, they rock with you. You cool with them, they're cool with you. That's just how it is. Mike Pence, for a while, for the 4 years, he was cool. And then it went a different way. And they're not cool no more. That's just how that is.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for that. I'm really grateful for that. But listen, my whole experience with President Trump is that he's just a genuine, real person. If he got your back, he's with you 100%.
Yeah, look at that picture right there. Hold on. Look at that. That right there. Hey, I'm going to get that picture. If I got to buy it or whatever from Getty Images, I'm going to get that picture. I'm going to put it in front of my house. That is a classic picture. You're talking about the old school Mike, prime Mike. They go Trump having a good old time being one of us. Good old time. Joe Biden could never. Joe Biden could never. Bernie Sanders, Joe Biden, Pocahontas, all these DC stiffs could never. Only the Donald could.
He's with you 100%.
Yeah, he's a loyal guy.
That's my experience with him. Yeah. That's why I'm for him 100% because he's never been nothing but for me.
He's one of the most loyal guys you'll ever meet. Are you?
There we go. So shout out to Iron Mike Tyson. Okay, Iron Mike Tyson doing interviews on television because he's supporting the MAHA agenda, Make America Healthy Again agenda. And the commercial will come out during the big game. If you guys didn't know, I put the video up on my social media of Mike talking about obesity and stuff like this. That's going to be Super Bowl commercial coming out tomorrow. So you'll see that then. You saw a little bit early since I posted it, and it's been in other places too. Let me see if I can find the actual first video right quick, and then I keep on rocking and rolling here. So this is Mike Tyson's commercial for Make America Healthy Again. That'll be airing during the big game tomorrow. All right, and here we go.
My sister's name was Denise. She died of obesity at 25. She had a heart attack. I was so fat and nasty. I would eat anything. I was like 345 pounds, a quart of ice cream every hour. I had so much self-hate when I was like that. I just wanted to kill myself. We're the most powerful country in the world, and we have the most obese, fudgy people. Something has to be done about processed food in this country.
There we go. Realfood.gov, paid for by the MAGA Center Incorporated. So there we go. That's Mike Tyson collaborating with the government, RFK Jr., Donald Trump, everybody else. And he's doing interviews about it. So that's definitely a good endorser for that movement. And I like it. And y'all know me. I love that movement. That's one of my favorite movements right there. The number two thing I like about what's happening right now, aside from ICE and all of that doing a fantastic job, I love ICE. Shout out to ICE, all the ICE agents, everybody. Shout out to you guys. Love what you guys are doing. Everybody in safety and security in this country, first responders, police, fire, ICE, Border Patrol, Homeland Security, everybody. I love y'all. But right next to that, second to that would be the initiative to get us eating healthier. I'm a big health nut. What I had today, my meal today, look, hold on. Now I'm getting excited. Knocking stuff over. My meal today, I had brown rice, tomato, no avocado this time, a hard-boiled egg, and a piece of salmon. And then beyond that, I had like a handful of peanuts. That's my meal for today. And of course, you got to have that good old Kirkland brand water. Okay, that's what I'm on. So y'all know this is definitely right up my alley. So shout out to Make America Healthy Again. Now, speaking about Trump, things that he's doing, healthcare, health, etc. Here's Mark Cuban, Mr. Orange Man Bad, I hate Trump, all this and that, and the third, now praising Trump for Trump RX. Real talk, no AI, real video. Let's watch. If you don't know about Trump RX, this is going to be Trump's, I guess, portal or website to offer drugs at a lower price. And if that's wrong, y'all correct me in the comments, please.
We'll work with Trump RX. I mean, it's incredible. It's stupendous. It's like the most incredible program ever.
Hold on. Before I begin, because I saw a comment and it triggered me. And I want to react to it right now before I let Mark talk. So Darren says, yay, another YouTuber lecturing people about being healthy. Well, I mean, what you want me to do? That's my interest. I'm a health nut. So why can't I express my interest? Maybe you want to go to a Cheeto eating YouTuber. If that's the case, that's fine. But I am not. I am a health nut. I am a health snob. So if you don't like hearing about not being the Big Back anymore, be a Big Back on the Big Back channel. I'm just playing a little bit.
We'll work with Trump RX. I mean, it's incredible. It's stupendous. It's like the most incredible program ever. And so we're excited to offer them our API so that they'll be able to download our daily prices. So when they go down, everybody benefits. Plus, I like what they're doing with the MFNs because, as I mentioned in my comments, our brand drugs are more expensive because PBMs are involved. And with Trump RX and the MFN program, that allows manufacturers to work around the PBMs and work directly to patients. So I think it'll save seniors, it'll save everybody a lot of money.
You think this is the future?
I don't think it solves the ultimate problem of how the system is designed, but I think it's something that we obviously agree on because that's what Cost Plus Drugs is. We publish our entire price list every day.
Your company posts drug prices with full cost breakdowns. How does this transparency help save patients money?
I mean, you know, with costplusdrugs.com, any patient can just go look at their price for their medication. And so there's no uncertainty. But more importantly, by seeing our markup of only 15% and seeing our costs, that builds trust. I always tell everybody in our company that what we really sell in this industry is trust. And so I think that's what's really allowed us to grow so quickly.
There we go. So again, that is Mark Cuban, former Mavericks owner, NBA basketball team owner, Dallas Mavericks, and of course, big money guy. He's somebody that has hated Trump for a long time. And if you didn't hate him, I couldn't tell because there was quite a bit of negativity coming from Mark Cuban toward Donald Trump. Okay, quite a bit of that. But he is on his side with this, so shout out to him. And even if he still hates Trump, it's okay because you could put aside that for a common purpose. I like that. Some of us can't do that. We'll hate you until the end. It doesn't matter. You could be in the ocean drowning. hand up. You see it's your enemy. The enemy says, I help you, and you refuse it, and you just drown. That makes no sense. That's going against yourself. That's literally cutting the nose despite your face. That makes no sense. Now, Russell Brand talking about RFK Jr.'s plan, because part of health is not just about eating well. To the guy who was in here earlier, oh, don't lecture me. I'm 300 pounds and I like being 300 pounds and I'm fat. Anyway, aside from the eating part, it's also about your drug and alcohol consumption. That's part of it as well. If you eat well, but you smoke crack, you're kind of defeating the purpose. If you don't eat well and go to the gym and you don't drink or smoke, you still are not all the way there. You got to have all your things in life in order to be truly healthy.
And I know.
RIP to the headphone users. Sorry about that loud noise. RIP to the headphone users.
And I know with Bobby Kennedy that he does know, that he's aware, that he's been there, that he's not a tourist in the vast realms of pain that seem to be deliberately amplified in these systems that require darkness, these systems that require all of us to be dependent and addicted. You'll be aware that the models deployed invisibly behind the screens we all clutch and bow down before used information derived from casinos and addiction to ensure that their products remained maximally attached to the hands and minds of users. You'll be aware too that the foods we eat load up in substances that we're not equipped to deal with, that we cling to inwardly, that we glom onto and addict to. So addiction in a way is everybody's issue now, not just with dependency upon obvious chemicals, but dependency upon a system that wants you addicted, devoted, dedicated, and broken, bowed down before its full sorters.
That was very good, Russell Brand. Very, very good. Okay, shout out to you. But he's right about that, because it's not just about drugs, alcohol, the things that you would normally link to addiction. It's not just about that. It's about a lot of the things that you do every day, things that you eat. Okay, there's sugar in your food. You're hooked on that. You may be hooked on the gambling. You may be hooked on a lot of different things, because the idea is if you become addicted, you're going to keep coming back and spending that money. It's a business model. Your addiction has been monetized. And I think the main thing we should focus on is not being just dollar signs for corporations. Being truly free, independent people means you don't have to rely upon these companies for your regular everyday living. If you can't get your cigarettes, if you can't get your alcohol, if you can't get this big bag snacks, if you can't get this salt and the sugar and all kinds of stuff making you sick, okay, you shouldn't be really consuming that too much, because you're addicted, you're spending money unnecessarily, and you're harming your body. You are harming your body. Okay, now let's keep going here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, this is going to be Rob Schneider, the comedian. It was talking about scamdemic. Okay, I've been saying that for a long time. The plandemic, scandemic, pandemic. It was so much scamming and BS going on during that time. It's ridiculous. Okay, go to a restaurant with your mask on, but then when you sit down, take it off. Put your mask on in between bites of food. Have your mask on inside the car by yourself. And the mask doesn't even protect you from the virus at all. Get the vaccine. Get vaccinated. Got to go out there and get it. A big cash grab for the big pharma companies. Dangerous vaccines had to get recalled. Oops. Hey, the Johnson & Johnson, did you get that? Hey, man, it might cause you to have a heart attack and die at 21 years old, but it's okay, because some of y'all had the heart attack and died, but not everybody. And some of you guys might have long-lasting effects, but not everybody. So let's hear from Rob Schneider about the plandemic, scandemic, pandemic, and how these lefty kind of guys react to them, the pearl clutching.
Very interesting, because during the scamdemic, as I call it, which was an unbelievable.
Rob, hold on a second. Why is this scamdemic? It is one of the most deadly pandemics in human history. It killed millions of people around the world.
Well, first of all, the death rate of that, we have to look at the numbers for this. What was the death rate? Do you know what the death rate was in the United
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's get into the numbers.
States?
I do not.
Okay, it's 0.3.
Mhm.
That is about the same as a flu. And they said there were no flus. They said nobody died of the flu that year. Why? Because people wore masks. And they said, well, how come they died of COVID? Well, because masks don't work. So at a certain point, we have to look at the evidence. We have to make our decisions that are evidence-based. So when I say it was a scam because Trump was lied to. He was lied to by the CDC. He was lied to by Fauci. He was lied to by Redmond. He was lied to by Birx. These are the people in the health agencies. They said, if you don't do this, you're not going to get reelected. 4 million people, Americans are going to die, and you're going to be blamed for it. And so he caved.
No, but sorry.
So there we go. And I agree with that. And people ask me sometimes, it's like, is there anything that you don't agree with Trump on? And I say right away, the vaccine, Operation Warp Speed, I was against it from the beginning. And again, as I said earlier, just because someone does a thing that I don't like or I don't agree with does not mean I throw them away completely, because I'm looking at it. You got President Trump and you have Kamala Harris. Who am I voting for? The choice is clear. And beyond that, I was not forced to get the vaccination. I didn't get it, and I'm good. To those who were forced to get it, I think even Trump was the one who said that he didn't want it to happen. But he was part of the vaccination development process, I suppose, because he said it was Operation Warp Speed, and that was his thing. So anything I don't agree with Trump on, it'd be that. But beyond that, we're cooking with gas. Now, speaking about cooking, did you guys see the meth lab? I mean, the biolab in the Las Vegas AirBNB? Hey, imagine that. You go to an Airbnb, you go in there, scratch your throat. What's going on in my throat? What's happening? You turn on the news a week later, breaking news, biolab found in Las Vegas, Airbnb. And then they show their address and it's your house that you were at a little while ago on vacation. You be sick.
At 2, we're half past the hour, a possible biological lab inside a Las Vegas home, now under investigation. A federal investigation. Agents seizing vials of unknown liquids and probing a potential link to a Chinese national accused of running a similar lab in California that held deadly pathogens. Our senior national correspondent William Lajeunesse is reporting live on this out of Los Angeles for us. Hello, William.
Well, Sandra, two amazing things about this story. One, the man who owns that Vegas lab, he's a Chinese scientist linked to the CCP, is and has been in jail the last 3 years. Secondly, the lab is not an FDA licensed facility, but it's in a house in Vegas, raided Saturday morning by the FBI, SWAT pulling out boxes of what police believe are hazardous biological agents and pathogens, normally found in a secure university or industrial lab with airlocks designed to prevent an outbreak.
Hey, man, look, I don't have time for that. And for a while, I've been saying I don't like the Airbnbs. I don't like any kind of stuff like this. Like, I don't like Waymos, Airbnbs. It's just a little bit too much. I need more human interaction. I don't want to have a house where I don't know the person and there's no staff or anything. It's just you kind of out there. When I went to DC one time, and RIP to Shirley Hussar, I was out there with her. I think that might have been when I had my first speaking engagement, or one of them, out there in DC many years ago. It might have been like 2018, 2017. But anyway, we stayed in the Airbnb, and it was kind of weird. First of all, it's strangers. I don't know everybody. Everybody was cool, but it's like, if one of y'all come in my room, hey man, I'm gonna beat you down like you stole something. But anyway, the Airbnb was kind of in a sketchy little area. We pulled up to the spot. I'm like, oh man, kind of southeast-ish over here. a little ratchet over here. You know, I'm seeing some cars kind of out of place. I'm seeing some ramshackle stuff. I'm like, ew. Okay, I know we got probably like a renovated spot, but I don't know. It's like, imagine going to Baltimore with all them empty row houses and one of them is fixed up. It's like, well, the house looks okay, but the rest of the block kind of suspect. Anyway, it's going to be kind of a security issue because you're kind of in a rough neighborhood. You could get a random break-in. It's just, and then they had ants. It was weird. Yeah, you got to take the track. Like, this ain't my house, bro. Like, if I'm going traveling somewhere, I want full housekeeping. I want a guy at the front when I come in. I don't want nobody that's over in the Philippines or India talking about hello, sir. I don't want that on a little tablet. I want a real human being. I want a staff. I want people that's going to fix things. I want housekeeping. I want a restaurant in the jank. I want all of that. Not a trap house where you can rent rooms and I come home sick. I don't want that. Okay.
Sweet.
Now, this is from the Daily Wire. I don't know if it's a town hall, debate, or whatever, but shout out to the Daily Wire. This is going to be Harry Sisson. Remember the flamingo from the now famous Obama monkey video? This is him in real life. And he's going to be asked a question, and let's see how he responds.
Sweet Harry, you've been talking about scandals, about cover-ups. Brother in Christ, brother in Moloch. We didn't have a president for 4 years, and you covered it up. How is that not worse? We had a man in severe cognitive decline. How is that not worse?
Okay, are you done? It's hard to make that argument when Joe Biden, and you're going to hate this, Joe Biden was one of the most productive presidents in modern American history.
Okay, now the seal clapping is crazy, but a little bit about Harry. Harry is from Singapore. That's where he's from. He came stateside like in his late teens, maybe like high school or college or something like this. Just to be clear, same kind of way that Barry Soetoro lived in Indonesia. This guy's from Singapore. Real talk, look it up. Harry Sisson, Singapore. That's what it says. Look it up.
When Joe Biden, and you're going to hate this, Joe Biden was one of the most productive presidents in modern American history.
I'm going to sit back. Go
Joe Biden signed more fiscal legislation into law. Hold on.
Did he sign it?
Hold on. More fiscal legislation into law than any president in the last 70 years.
Hold on. So just to clarify, this is sort of a new, I wish this were its own debate topic.
I submitted it.
Joe Biden is the most productive president in recent American history.
That is true. That is absolutely true.
Okay.
By the way.
Sleeping. Sweet Harry.
Okay, so what's your opinion about that? Do you think that Joe Biden was the most, our most, in the past, I don't know how many years, most productive president that we've had? If he's so productive, where's the productivity? What did he actually do? I saw a bunch of napping, ice cream eating, auto pen usage. I did not see very much productivity. He was productive in letting the border be wide open. He was most certainly doing that. Keeping them borders open, keeping the concertina wire from being placed on the border to keep the illegal aliens out. He did that. But beyond that, I don't see the productivity in the Joe Biden presidency. If y'all see it, let me know in the comments. Auto pen Joe, exactly. Yeah, really, really busy working on auto pen and taking naps in the fake White House that they made for him. Yeah, that's what he was doing. Anyway, we got a little bit more from that. Let's keep on going here. Now, this is something funny because a lot of liberals make this point about Renee Nicole Good. We on the right say that she hit the cop with her car. Most of us say that. Most of them say that she hit him, but it wasn't that bad. It was like a little nudge. It was a bump. It wasn't enough for her to get deleted. Let's watch this.
You just said, Harry, that Renee Good was murdered by an ICE officer.
Yeah.
Do you not think that being hit by an SUV is a justification for using deadly force?
If you're looking at the footage frame by frame, and I saw you get walked by Adam Mockler on this, can you be quiet? Oh my God.
How did I get walked?
Well, I'm up here. You're over there. I'm meant to be talking.
Harry, here's a question. Did Renee Good hit the officer with her SUV?
Wait. If you look at the frame by frame,
it's a simple question. You don't need a paragraph.
Michael, this is a more nuanced.
Yes or no? It's
Michael,
not nuanced.
You would agree that this is a more nuanced issue.
I would not agree with that.
Look, you know what? When you get asked a direct question and you don't answer, it's because you're trying to avoid it. For the most part. I mean, some questions are loaded, but this is not a loaded question. Did she hit him? I don't care if it was a bump, a nudge, a push. It doesn't really matter. She hit him with the car. And I'm going to let him finish.
Did this woman hit the officer with her SUV?
Her
yes
SUV
or no?
bumped the officer, which still does not justify.
Bumped him with a 3,000-pound SUV.
Michael, if I tapped you...
5,000 pound. Hey, Michael, 5,000 pound SUV. If you bump a cop with your SUV, what's going to happen? Oh, man, I got bumped. Oh, man, I'm sorry for being in the way. Sorry about that. Yeah. We just not have my gun out anymore and just go away. Because there's no way that she'll come back and try to hit me again. No way, right?
deadly force.
If I tapped you on the shoulder right now, can you shoot me in the face?
If you tapped me with your SUV, I probably would. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just said it.
So yeah, hey Harry, to tap you on the shoulder is not the same thing as hitting you with a car. Even if I tapped you with the car, tapping you right here like this with my hand, a little tap with this little 1 pound of pressure is not the same thing as being quote unquote tapped with a 5,000 pound SUV. And matter of fact, let me show you something right here. Shout out to Candy Lou on Instagram for posting this. Okay. That's her right there in the beginning. But what she's going to do is tee up this video in which we see what can happen if you are quote unquote nudged by a car and you don't take action immediately. Okay, let's watch.
Oh, bet.
Turn off the car. No. Get out.
Now, I probably already played this before, but I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna start from the top.
Turn off the car. No. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Wow. 299, she's almost struck me. Get out of the car.
So now the cop got hit. I don't know if he died or if he lived or what. Now the cop got hit. Now the cop got to shoot. But what should have happened is right at this first time. Hold on. Right there. Chinese New Year. Because now you squared up with the cop. And here's something I wanted to say. Because some people said that the cops in the Renando Code Good situation stood in front of the car. No, because, you know, cars can actually move. They have wheels. So in this situation right here, no sound, of course, but the car backed up and then squared the wheels, squared the body up with the person. You see, he was not in front of the vehicle until she moved the car. First the guy's on the side, and then when she squares up, boom, right in the middle. So now, once she does that backing up motion and she stops going in the drive, she want to put the pedal to the metal. At that point, I'm gonna put that steel to the metal. Hey, you're gonna be lit up. Christmas lights, New Year's, 4th of July, all of that. Because I know now the intention is hit me with the car. Okay, and he moves, so I got out the way, and so does she. She moved with him. Now, at that point, when she nudges him, hey man, because what ended up happening was she tried again, backed up again, okay, squared up again, and again, you see the car go on the drive right here. Look, you can see the shift happen right there. See, right there happen. So now she's going to go forward again. The cops got to shoot. But of course they don't shoot. And now, boom, now you hit. See how that works? So, Harry, anybody else that understands anything about Harry, you appear to not understand the way cars work. You appear to not know how these things can actually end. So hopefully that video helped. Hopefully that video helps you out a little teeny bit. Okay, let's keep going. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, Harry, what about illegal aliens? Yay or nay? Illegal aliens, illegal immigrants, yay or nay? What are we doing? And give me 1 second, and let's let it rock.
You, for some reason, believe that illegal immigration, and Donald Trump believes that illegal immigration is this massive problem that requires.
Yeah, there are like 20 million of them in our country.
First of all, there's no. First of all, there's not 20 million. There was a maximum of 10 million border encounters under Joe Biden. Obviously, if Border Patrol encounters somebody,
illegal immigration. I mean, that is a shocking number, but illegal immigration actually predates Joe Biden. Believe it or not, it actually goes back a few more decades.
Hold on. But my point being here is that. Why are we demonizing these communities and demonizing?
Because they're criminals and they have no right to be here.
Okay, now let's talk about this. So, illegal aliens come in a variety of ways, not just southern border. If there was a border interaction, that means that the person was caught at the border. Maybe they were released into the interior, but under our administration, it's not happening. They're getting sent away. But there are some who come in through the border illegally, undetected, your gotaways. How many of them are there? During the Biden administration, the border was wide open. So they weren't doing very many encounters. They were doing mostly just, hey, Ole defense, come on in, do what you want to do. That was happening under the Biden administration. And also those who come here and overstay visas and stuff like this. Once you combine all that, the long-term illegal aliens, the new arrival illegal aliens, the visa overstayers and everything else, you're going to have much more than the 10 million you said at the border that got interacted with. Probably closer to 40 million, which is what Michael Knowles was saying. But anyway, shout out to these guys. Let's keep rocking here. Let's keep moving. Okay, this is going to be House Rep Maria Salazar, a Democrat, okay, talking about ICE. Hey, if you guys keep going, we're not going to have any more fruit pickers, any more bed makers, no more gardeners. I mean, we're not going to have any more low-cost labor jobs being filled in this country if you get rid of the illegal aliens. That's what she said. I didn't say it. Let's check it out.
But don't touch the nannies or the gardeners or the ones who are picking up the jalapeno peppers or the oranges or the berries or the ones in the dairy houses. Come on. Those people are helping us eat better, cheaper homes, cheaper vegetables, and better fruits. So those are the ones that we are trying to give a dignified status. But
so look, if we deport the illegal aliens, who's going to... If we free the slaves, how about that? If we free the slaves, who's going to pick this cotton? Who's going to build this railroad? And that was a real question. That's why they brought the Chinese in, because, you know, I was talking about that on my Instagram. People talking about, oh, well, the Chinese built the railroad, ABL. No, they didn't. They expanded it. And when did they come to the country? 1862. What was happening in 1862? Anybody want to take a stab at it? Anybody want to guess what happened at that time? Anybody want to guess? Who built the whole Southern Railroad of the USA? Who did that? And then after slavery was over with, they came up with the 13th Amendment, where you could get incarcerated and still become a slave. But I don't want to go down that road. Anyway, it's the same thing. Who's going to pick this cotton? Who's going to continue the railroad? How are we going to keep the country going if we don't have slave labor? The problem with slave labor is that, number one, it's illegal. Okay, that's the first thing. But beyond that, it reduces the cost of labor to the point where if you're a regular free person wanting to work, there's nothing there for you. You're just going to stratify society like that. You're going to have those at the very, 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 very bottom, dirt poor, almost with nothing, working whatever kind of job they can to survive. And then those at the top, you know, it's not going to be in the middle, because you got slaves and then you got those who control the slaves. But those who have slaves are not going to be the majority in society. And the slaves are just going to be permanent underclass, and they're going to be a problem in the future when the slavery is not needed because they don't have the education. It's a whole big thing. But at the end of the day, I'm glad they tell us what they think. All right. Now, let's keep on going here. If you like what you're hearing so far, you know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. This is going to be Javier Milei talking about no socialism. We can't have it. And of course, Javier Milei is the president of Argentina.
When you tell a socialist the truth, they cry, claiming it's hate speech. No, it's not hate speech. It's that you are useless people who have ruined the planet. When you tell a socialist...
There we go. Exactly. That is right on point. Let's keep moving here. Speaking about socialists, Bernie Sanders, okay? Bernie Sanders still rocking, talking about climate change right here, which is the hoax of all hoaxes. Let's watch some of this, shall we?
You got to deal with this climate change issue. And I know that, you know, there are some people who think climate change is a hoax. It ain't a hoax. I think the last 10 years have been the warmest on record.
I think the climate change issue is very complicated. And I think, did you see the Washington Post piece that they wrote where they did this long-term view? First of all, the reality is that the Earth's temperature has never been static, right? We could both agree on that. It's always been up and down. There's been ice ages and heat waves. And then the Washington Post looked at it. What was the time period that they looked at? That essentially they found that we're in a cooling period. that the Earth over the past X amount of years, and this was like a very inconvenient discovery, but they had to report the data, and kudos to them for doing that. Scientists have captured the Earth's climate change over the last 485 million years. Here's a surprising place we stand now. So look at the far end of.
Now, because of time, I got to keep moving here, but the whole climate change thing is the biggest hoax in the world. It's so big. It's crazy. It's talking about, oh, it's the warmest years on record. How long does it go back? 100 years? Is that our record? So we're saying because it's the warmest within 100 years. So you say that means that human beings are causing climate change, and we got to do all kind of things to, try to reverse it, try to go the other direction. It doesn't make much sense. It makes no sense at all, actually. All right. But let's keep on going here. Hold on. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to save that one because there's a lot more I wanted to show. That might be a separate video about Bernie and the climate change stuff. That was a quick preview right there because there are a few more things I like to say on that, but I'm going to keep moving because of time. Now, speaking about climate and stuff like that, have you guys seen all the trash and stuff out there in New York City, Manhattan? This is going to be 11 days post-storm. Now, for you guys in New York, please let me know if this is normal or abnormal, okay? I know you're going to have snow. You got to move the snow. You got to plow it. You got to do all kinds of things, and it's a big city with a lot of people. So sometimes it could look like this, but I'm going to ask you guys, is this normal 11 days post-storm to have so much trash on the ground? Is it a preview of socialism? We'll get the trash every couple of weeks. It'll be okay. It'll be a mountain of trash inside your house. It'll be a whole hill, mountain, a mesa of trash outside your house, but it's okay because we're all in this together. We're collectivists. If you don't want so much trash outside, then you should reduce your usage. Okay, eat one time a week and you'll be totally fine, right? So we got snow and trash like kind of fused. It's like a little, New Yorkers, please tell me something. Is this normal? Let me know. It doesn't look normal, but maybe I'm being ignorant because I'm not a New York person. So yeah, I'm cool on that, man. Like, where I live at, we would never. Hey, let me leave my trash can outside my house too long without putting it inside the garage. I might get HOA. Mr. Logan, come on now, you can't do that. All right. Is that about right, J-Man? That's about right? Somebody says, Southside says that's not normal. Hey, we shall see.
The story.
Here's Mom Donnie talking about how to protect ICE, and he quotes the Quran. No surprise there. Let's watch.
The story of the Hijrah reminds us that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a stranger too, who fled Mecca and was welcomed in Medina. Surah An-Nahl 1642 tells us, as for those who immigrated in the cause of Allah after being persecuted, we will surely bless them with a good home in this world. Or as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Islam began as something strange and will go back to being strange. So glad tidings to the strangers. The story.
There we go. So there is your New York City mayor, Mohammed Mamdani. Mohammed Mamdani quoting surah from the Quran. All right. Hey, we warned y'all. We warned the world about Mamdani. We told you, but hey, man, whatever. I hope that this experiment goes well for the people in New York City. But if it doesn't, then, hey, man, what you want us to do? What you want us to do? That's why I say LOL New York. Hey, man. It is what it is. It is what it is. Okay. So Zoran previously said he wants to make it illegal or impossible or improbable for businesses to leave New York City after the big tax hike. Okay, that's what he said. And as a matter of fact, we just play some of that. I have limited time here, but I will play this piece. Y'all please rock with me. Okay.
So let's talk through.
This is from October of last year, okay? To give you context about what Zoran said about trying to keep businesses in New York City when they want to leave because of the high taxes that's now being imposed on them.
So let's talk through these policy points. Freezing the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants does not require money from the city. It is a determination made that landlords cannot increase the rent for those about 1 million apartments. That's something the city has done before. Making buses free costs around $700 million.
Well, that ain't going to happen because Kathy Hochul up in, Albany says we're not going to do that. So let's keep going.
Providing universal childcare costs about $6 billion. These are significant amounts of money. They have to be understood in the context of a $116 billion city budget, a state budget of more than $252 billion. The money that we would raise to fund this agenda is in two parts. The first is by increasing the state's top corporate tax rate to match that of New Jersey. That would raise $5 billion. This would only impact the most profitable corporations, ones that are making millions of dollars in profits. The second is to increase...
And I'm sorry,
please.
You're sure they're not going to leave it? Y esas compañías no se van a ir de Nueva York. They're not going to leave New York.
So the way that this tax works is it applies to any business doing business here. They could be located in Miami, but if they're doing business in New York, it applies to them. And the reason I believe everyone will keep doing business here is our economy is so large that if it was a country, it would rival the top countries in the world. The second is personal income taxes. I think that the top 1% of New Yorkers who make $1 million or more a year should pay 2% more in personal income taxes. That would raise $4 billion. These are the two major revenue points. But as you've also said, I want to make sure that every dollar we have today is also a dollar that we are spending in the fullest way possible. And what I mean by that is today I'll look at our Department of Education. It's the agency where we spend the most amount of money of any department in City Hall. And what we find is that we're spending $10 billion a year on contracts. There is money that can be saved in the way in which we spend on those contracts, the way in which we procure those contracts, the standardization or lack thereof. We have to make sure, as you said, that every dollar is going to the benefit of the classroom, the kids in the classroom, the teachers who are teaching them.
All right, there we go. So do you guys think that his plans, we saw the whole thing about the bus. Again, that's from October of 25. So since then, Kathy Hochul, the governor, said, we're not going to have free buses because that's a state issue, not a city issue. We're not going to do the free buses. So how about other things? And do you think that the people who live in New York making a bunch of money are going to stay there to get taxed to death? If it was me, I wouldn't stay there. I don't care how big the economy is. If I'm not making enough to where it makes any sense, if you're taking the majority of my income, at that point, I'm a slave. I'd rather it would be free and not do that I'd rather it would be free in a smaller market than a slave in the big market. Now, this man right here is going to kind of react to the whole situation about Mamdani wanting people to stay in New York, trying to make them stay. And he thinks that he's able to do it. He thinks that he has an idea about how to keep them here. Okay. Or maybe they're not going to say, and it's okay. Let's watch.
What do you say to those folks who say, well, if you tax millionaires, they're going to leave the city, and the top 1% pays 40% of the taxes in the city,
Yeah.
So what happens if they leave? What's your response?
Well, that's what I would say. It's like we should take their business and we run it like for the city ourselves.
So if they take their business to Florida, you feel like you can keep it here?
I mean, they can't leave the building. They can't just bring their whole entire workforce to Florida, right? They can't bring all of the resources that they have to build the business here to Florida, right? That's a whole thing. And that's where we would even say if we're building a real movement, right, to stop that, we'd also make it illegal for them to actually leave, right? We would fine them to hell if they're going to try to abandon their property here, right? Because clearly people do need to work, right? People do need to make a living. So
what do you say to
Okay, so a few things here, bro. First of all, there have been companies that have left wherever they are to go somewhere else because reasons, okay? We saw it with Elon Musk. Tesla went from California. Well, Elon Musk, was it Tesla and I think X, Twitter, both went to California or one, either way. Joe Rogan podcast went from California to Austin. Daily Wire, I'm not sure where it was before. Now they're in Tennessee. And speaking about Tennessee, you got In-N-Out Burger now in Tennessee, headquartered rather than California. People are going to move. People, corporations, they're going to move. If the taxes are so high that uprooting everything, including the employees or finding new employees, will cost less than your tax over a period of time, then they'll just move to save that money. It'll be expensive, but it's going to be expensive regardless. So yeah, there's nothing you can really do. And trying to make them stay, North Korea, much Kim Jong-un, is that what it is? Is this Kim Jong-un trying to hide, trying to put on a little bodysuit, trying to disguise and trying to fool us? What's going on? We can actually leave in this country. We can go where we want to go. We're not being held captive. We're not under arrest. We're not incarcerated. We're able to move around freely. All right. So yeah, there's something, you can't do anything to make a company stay. And they're going to go, and that's it. So shout out to that fine gentleman right there and his matching pinks. It's got a light pink and dark pink. Okay, I'm with it, bro. All right, I'm with it. Shout out to you. High fashion model. All right, let's keep going. This guy asks, should Trump supporters lose the right to... This guy asks, should Trump supporters lose their right to vote?
This is how it needs to go down. Once we get out from under the thumb of Trump and his regime, every MAGA supporter that voted for Trump, they literally need to have their voting records not wiped clean, but wiped, so they can't ever vote again. Because you voted a dictator into office, and look what's going on right now in the entire world, especially here in the United States with fucking Trump and his dumbass and all the people that are literally.
All right. Okay, you get a little bit nasty now. I'm going to go easy on you because I see you might be a little touched. There's a little something there. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you got going on up here, but the noggin ain't noggining. You got a few connections are a little bit loose, okay? Your plug into reality is a little bit out of the socket. It's kind of sparking and arcing. I don't know what's going on with you right now, but that little tongue thing at the end is a red flag. But anyway, bro, that's very anti-democratic of you to say that because you voted the wrong way, according to you, that we can't vote anymore. That's very anti-democratic. The whole system is everyone has a voice. You have the right to vote. You may not like it, but it's okay. We don't have a one-party system quite yet. If I want to vote for Donald Trump and you don't, okay. You vote for Kamala, I vote for Trump. If I win, we take over. If you win, you take over. That's fair. You see, whatever you want to do might not make any sense because, again, you might be playing with a full deck. Okay, you got a few screws loose up in the noggin. If you go like that, it's going to sound like dice rolling. You understand? So maybe, just maybe, to counteract some of the idiocracy that we see in this country from people, to counteract that, have everyone given the right to cast their vote so we get the best guy in, hopefully. That's the objective. Now, the problem is if you got a bunch of these guys that sound like they got two pennies in their head when you shake it, voting, if that becomes the majority, then we're screwed. And that's probably part of the reason why K through 12 sucks and entertainment and everything else, because the idea is to dumb people down. So those in power, the overlords or whatever, they can run things unopposed because the populace would be too dumb. The people will be too dumb to know any better or to vote any better. That's the idea of mainstream media, of K through 12 education, college, all of that. They all are in on trying to keep you uninformed. If you're uninformed, you're not going to vote in your best interest because you don't know your best interest. But yeah, shout out to him. Shout out to him. All right, let's keep on going here. If you like what you're hearing so far, here's a good one. So, now, bro, why are you wearing a Pooh Shiesty balaclava mask talking about ICE coming to Atlanta and everybody got guns? Like, why is that really your thing? And why are you, sir, worried about ICE? Let's hear his stance, then I'm going to react.
Them folks said ICE is in Atlanta, Georgia.
Hold on. Right away, I almost forgot. Some of you guys are not going to understand this dialect, this Atlanta, Georgia, whatever. Some of y'all might not understand. I'll translate. So I got you. Don't worry about it.
Them folks said ICE is in Atlanta, Georgia. This all I got to tell y'all little ICE motherfuckers, right? This ain't the North, right? We don't need license to carry no gun, gang. So y'all just be careful on the motherfuckers y'all push up to and grab. Okay? Just be careful. This ain't the North. Y'all been in Chicago, Minneapolis, y'all ain't in the South with this shit. Shit get real down here fast. We don't need no license homes. We don't need them. Shit, yeah.
All right, basically you said, hey, to the ICE agents coming, you're not in the North anymore. We have guns down here. No license, we don't need it. We have guns. So if you run up on someone, try to catch them, try to get them into custody, they might be armed. Now, the thing about it is, bro, number one, why are you even making that announcement? You think they don't know? Are you trying to intimidate them? Why is it your business? You sound Black American, okay? That was not a Nigerian accent. That sounds straight like Atlanta, Georgia. That sounds straight like West Side. Little 5 Points, or what's that? Vine City. You sound straight like Vine City. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That's how you sound. You don't sound like this, huh? You are a Black American. What you worried about? Stay out the way. Mind your business. You're going to be all right. And the ICE agents know what's what. And ICE been in Atlanta anyway, so it's not anything new. They know who y'all are. They know who they are. They know what's going on. Also, we saw the guy in Minnesota got deleted because of the gun on him that went off, allegedly. So it's not like a new thing to see somebody with a gun. And here's something else. As I've said before in the previous video, the guys with the guns in Atlanta, in Georgia specifically, and in Atlanta too, but Georgia specifically, they are going to help the ICE agents. They're going to perform overwatch, security, making sure everything's good. They're going to be giving alerts and stuff like that to help them in their efforts because we're still in a conservative place. Atlanta is Atlanta. It's Wakanda. It's like a little enclave. But Georgia is still Georgia, even Atlanta. Just like when Stacey Abrams ran for governor of Georgia, she had an anti-gun campaign. My man just said everybody has guns. It don't matter. Black, white, Puerto Rican, and Candy Stripe. So why would you do that? Although Atlanta is still kind of left its place a little bit, it's still in the red place. It's still Southern, and that's how we still are. But yeah, hey, bro, you Black American, stay out the way, mind your business, you'll be just fine. All right, but shout out to him. Okay, my man right here has whistles. Yay. Hey, this it reminds me of what was that? Like book day? Did you ever have book day in school? You go there, it'd be a book cart, like a food truck is now. They had books on those. Do they have book days anymore? Is that a thing anymore? Because are the kids reading? Are the kids reading anymore? I watched a video on Instagram where they were asking, it was a guy asking a kid a question. What state begins with P? And the funny part is they were in that state when he asked the question. He was taking forever. He talking about oh man, is it in the North? Okay, let me start where I'm from. He said Delaware. I'm like, oh my Lord. You're from Delaware and don't know what state starts with P? Anyway, are the kids reading or no? I don't know. But anyway, what I was saying is that the whistle would be a thing you would find at the book day. Pencils, maybe a whistle, books, paper, colored pencils, coloring books, that kind of thing you would see at a book cart. But we got a full-grown man playing with a whistle. But anyway, let's hear from him.
That's the ICE alert whistle. I've got them. They come in a 12-pack, everyone. Get the 12-pack sale, hand them out to your friends, neighbors. These are what everyone was using in Minnesota and in other parts of the country. This is protected under the First Amendment, your right to free speech. I know ICE hates it. They don't want people using them, but it is a protected item under the First Amendment. And the only thing you can't do is obstruct federal operations from taking place. So ICE enforcement operations, you just cannot physically block them, but you can blow a whistle. You can alert people that, hey, ICE is coming because they've just been going door to door, knocking on doors, stopping people, asking them for their papers. So it just lets everyone know that you should go inside and just be safe. Because out on a public street, they can stop anyone. They've been...
Okay, there we go. So yeah, my man got the whistles for the low. Now look, let's go back to the whistle pack, shall we? Okay, now, if you get a pack of whistles that look like that 100% came straight from a Chinese factory or somewhere in India. And look, it probably been on the ground, in between somebody's toes, all of that. We saw during COVID-19 where they were producing those masks in the Indian factory, and the masks would be on the ground, bare floor, by the guy's feet with no socks, no shoes, no nothing on, straight toes on your face mask. Same thing with that. If you put that in your mouth, man, you don't know what kind of chemical you're going to get on your lips. A whole new flu. COVID-19 times 10 on that thing. Who knows? That could have been how it spread from the beginning. Somebody out there playing with some jury or a whistle or a trombone or something, and then all of a sudden, oops, now my heart don't work no more. But anyway, bro, the whistles are just annoying. All it does is make my videos be annoying. I got to play y'all with the whistles. It's like a bunch of children running around. It doesn't really work, okay? ICE is effective in Minneapolis and other parts of the country. You guys are just out there blowing whistles for something to do. You're a nuisance and you're an annoyance. That's all that is. But anyway, yeah, shout out to the whistles. Hey, I'm asking y'all a question. If you see whistles in the pack like that, and then this guy says, hey, matter of fact, here you go. He got a pack. Hold on. Okay. This right here is a lav mic, like a little small mic. And this is a ear clip. So let's say, okay, I got it in here like this, right? I'd be like, yo, put it in your mouth. And my hands, you don't know where my hands been. I could have been digging in my hind parts. I'm like this. Hey, put that in your mouth for me right quick. Man, no way. That's not happening. But anyway, shout out to him. If you guys will do that, then God bless you. You guys are brave. Brave souls you are. I tell you what. All right. Now, I got time for a little bit more. I'm going to be overtime tonight because I had a lot to say. So I'm sorry. I had a lot to say. I'm going to play a few more here. This is about the whites. Dear white people. Okay. Listen to Miss White Lady explain to you something.
White people, I need to talk to you. Okay, this message is for the whites and the whites only.
Okay, so white only, right away, segregation, racism, but let me start from the top.
White people, I need to talk to you. Okay, this message is for the whites and the whites only. Okay? Before the Super Bowl comes this weekend, I want you to think about something really quick and remember what I'm telling you, okay? You have to remember that not everything is about you. Okay? Specifically in reference to the Super Bowl halftime performance. Not everything is in your white American little bubble. Not everything is for you. Not everything is about you. Not everything is going to be in a language that you understand. Enjoy the game. Eat your buffalo chicken dip. Serve the Tostitos out of a puke popcorn bowl. And shut the fuck up. Okay? Thank you.
All right, there we go. So sorry for the foul language. You know how they are. They can't talk without cursing. You know. Hey, I got a challenge. Let's have the Gen Z and everybody else talk without cursing for a day. But yeah, now, why is it only about white people? Because I had an opinion about that as well. I said the same thing that some of the whites are saying and others are saying. I don't pick in no panty, okay? So having Bad Bunny up there talking about something, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. I don't play Bad Bunny in my car. I don't really know who he is. If I'm trying to get to know somebody for the first time, let's say you're on a date, right? You talking. They speaking Klingon, you speaking English. It ain't gonna work. Same thing with him. You show me him for the first time, brand new person, stranger than me, Klingon. I can't understand. I don't know what's going on. So it's not about a white thing or a black thing or a green thing or a blue thing. It's about a language barrier, an unknown artist to me. That's the only thing. But yeah, shout out to her. Shout out to her. Okay, I got 2 more. Then I'm going to get to a few calls. Okay, now look. Going back to the whole ICE agent thing. Some are upset at ICE agents because of their tactics. Oh, they're too rough and this and that and that. Some don't like ICE because of the tactics or what they think their tactics are. But must we have this beautiful kid glove treatment for illegal aliens? Let's watch.
Everyone wants to abolish ICE because they don't like the tactics that ICE is taking to get the illegal immigrants out of the country, but I'm so lost on what you think ICE should be doing instead. Like, should we be sending out reminder emails? Like, do we need to be giving people courtesy calls and politely knocking on doors with trays of baked goods? Like, hey, we're just here to enforce the law. I know it might be inconvenient for you, but let me know, like, whenever you can get around to it. We can't even get American citizen criminals to just bend over and comply with the law and turn themselves in. We need bounty hunters and all kinds of sting operations to even arrest our own people. So I don't understand why we think illegal immigrants need to have anything short of what we already do to our own criminals done to them to get them out of here. Everyone wants to
boom. That was perfectly said, because if you're in the country legally a citizen and you committed a crime, ain't nobody going to be like, oh, treat them nice, treat them fair. Nah, you got to go get them. You here breaking the law. You're a fugitive. They're going to come get you. And it is what it is. It's not meant to be perfectly nice and beautiful. It's just a matter of, okay, we got to come get you. And the funny part is they get treated special still, even with the negativity that's put at their feet by the mainstream media and the politicos, because you could do the self-deport. All right. And if you self-deport, you get $2,600 in your hand, cash money, and a free flight to wherever you need to go. That's not the USA. And you don't get banned from the country. You're able to come back legally. If you don't take that deal and they got to come get you, oh, well, that's your fault. You had a sweet deal that you should take and you didn't take it. So now you don't get the money. Now you're going to be banned. Now it's going to be some other issues going on. So, hey, she's right on her point. Shout out to her. All right, let's keep rocking. I got one more. I like how we got the youngsters, the young black men waking up to the reality of the Democratic Party, waking up to how the Democratic Party treats us and how they've been treating us for a very long time. Some say the party switched. When did the party switch? I don't see any party switch, flip, change, or anything of the sort. Let's watch.
To all my black brothers and sisters, have y'all not realized by now that us voting for Democrats is really just us voting for other ethnic groups to benefit from our vote? And this is what Democrats do. They always bring up black people first. They're like, oh yeah, we know black people have been through oppression and da-da-da in this country, but we got to support immigrants and we got to support LGBTQ and we got to support all of these other groups that ain't black people. And if you guys would just wake up, it's obvious that they've basically just been using us as a political tool to further agendas that don't benefit our community. And does nobody find it odd that we as black people continue to vote for Democrats that basically push policies that will bring more immigrants into this country? And what do the immigrants do when they get into this country? They create communities and isolate themselves, which is the exact thing that black people in this country opted out of in the 1960s. We didn't want to isolate ourselves or continue building within our own community. We wanted to integrate with the white people, which frankly, I think was a mistake. I think if we would have kept doing what a lot of these immigrants are doing in current day, we would have been a lot better off. And yeah, we would have not been integrated. However, we would have not been destroyed and continuously gone down economically within this country. So I'm just genuinely confused why black people in this country continue to vote for Democrats. Like, there has been no substantial improvement over the past 60 years that would warrant us voting for them every single election. I just don't, it's just not computing with me. And I'm not saying vote for Republicans instead. I just think that we need to reevaluate voting in general. Like, why are we voting for an apparatus that doesn't support us? It's a very simple question.
Exactly. Very well stated, young man. Hey, very well stated. That was fantastic. It's a great question. Why keep voting for this party, for this entity that does not help? Why keep doing it? All these promises, we're going to help you with this, help you with that. Every election time, every 4 years, we come around, say something, and nothing happens. I would say vote Republican, at least for the president in this case, because Trump is the clear better option than Kamala. Kamala had nothing and was going to be a poor leader anyway. Even if it could have been something there that she could have promised, which she didn't, but it still would have been bad leadership. But Trump is definitely the guy. Look at what's happening with the world, with the whole thing with Venezuela, and you got the whole Iran thing. Like, there's some things happening in the world that you got to have a good leader for. And we've seen what Joe Biden could do. All Joe Biden did, the Democrat, was unleash the horde of illegal aliens upon us. 40 million people in 4 years. And where did it come? Straight to the black community. But they said, the Democrats said is that they wanted to help us. All they are really doing is replacing us while using us for votes. Simple as that. If the black vote dips below 88%, they're going to try to shame us on television, call us names, send celebrities out to get it back up to where it was. And when it goes back up, if it goes back up, all they're going to do is get in power. After they're done, give us middle finger and give everything to everybody else, to the LGBT, to the immigrants, to this group, to that group, to the fraudsters, the Somalis, everybody else, rather than us, American citizens. So he's right on point. Absolutely. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, I got super chats on deck. Then I'm going to get to the calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. I will stay longer tonight because I'm over my time, but I had so much to get through that I ran out of time. I feel like I just sat down. Time is weird. Time is like, it goes fast, but then it goes slow sometimes. At the same time, it's weird. I feel like I just sat down, but it's already almost 11 o'clock. But anyway, let's look at this. Thank you to Leo Mazzina, who says Biden was depicted as a monkey or some sort of primate too. Yes, he was, but they don't see that. All they see is what they want to see. They see whatever they need to see to be offended to make it be a thing about Trump being a bad person. That's all. That's all. Thank you to Applebach Puff Daddy, who says, I wholeheartedly condemn the meme of the Obamas. Whoever approved of it should be fired. I've seen memes of President Trump depicted as an orangutan. Remember Kathy Griffin's meme? Where's condemnation? Nowhere. Because it's not about racism or anything like that. It's just about trying to attack President Trump and his followers. Thank you to Apple again, who says, just today I saw on Getter, the Chicago high school kids protesting ICE. They had a poster of Trump wearing a MAGA hat, naked and nailed to a cross. WTH. Hey, it's crazy, ain't it? Thank you to Apple again, who says, let's not forget July 13th, 2024. Any apologies for that? Nope. Thank you to Apple again, who says, ABL, you're going to watch CPUSA halftime show tomorrow? I didn't plan on it, but I might watch some of it. Thank you to Apple again, who says, ABL, I thought Slick Willie Clinton was the first black president. No, he wasn't. Playing saxophone or Arsenio Hall, that don't really make a difference, Bill. No. Apple again says, ABL, reaction to Senator Schumer, POC can't get ID. Is that a new video or is that an old video? Because I saw something about that. Hold on. Schumer. Is that a new video? Hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it right here. So, very quickly, I'm up more time anyway, so it don't matter. So this is about. So the caption says MSNBC. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just let them play. And this is now MSNOW, formerly MSNBC. Okay, let's watch.
So, Leader Schumer, this talk about election security has revived discussions of the SAVE Act, which you have said you oppose. Proponents of it say that it's, to have ID, you have to prove U.S. citizenship to be able to vote. though some of the claims they make, to be clear, are overstated. We know there's not widespread election fraud. But polling does suggest, there's a new Pew Research poll, that 95% of Republicans, but also 71% of Democrats like this idea. So why do you not?
It's Jim Crow 2.0. And I called it Jim Crow 2.0, and the right wing went nuts all over the internet. That's because they know it's true. What they're trying to do here is the same thing that was done in the South for decades to prevent people of color from voting. For instance, if you change, you're a woman who got married and changed your last name, you won't be able to show ID and you'll be discriminated against. If you can't find a birth certificate or a proper ID, you'll be discriminated against. This is vicious and nasty. And I said to our Republican colleagues, it will not pass the Senate. You will not get a single Democratic vote in the Senate. We're not reviving Jim Crow all over the country.
Okay, so again, I hate when they use black people and our pain and our struggle to advance their narratives. It's not about Jim Crow. If you don't have identification in 2026, then you don't want to have it. And really what they want to do is cheat. So you're able to go vote with no ID, so you can vote as a guy that you're not. So you're able to engage in fraud easier. Because with ID, you can't do that. And as a matter of fact, hold on. Talking about Jim Crow, all that kind of stuff. I got a video about that. So I'm way over time, but I have time, so it's okay. All right. I got time. So in Somalia, they require voter identification. In Somalia, one of the poorest countries on planet Earth. Listen, one of the poorest countries on planet Earth with next to no education, lowest IQs in the world, they require voter identification to vote. If Somalia requires voter ID, why is it so far-fetched to have Americans require the same thing?
Somalia's electoral authorities have started issuing voter ID cards across Mogadishu as the capital prepares for its first direct municipal council elections in decades under a one-person, one-vote system. Printing at the Somali Independent Election Committee headquarters operates around the clock in 2 8-hour shifts, producing an estimated 30,000 to 40,000 cards daily. Somalia's electoral...
There we go. So if they could do that in Somalia, where you're talking about one of the poorest places, no education, food is an issue. If they can do it, why can't we do it? Why is it not racist for them to do it? But for us, it is. Again, they're just trying to use black people, use our pain, use our struggle, use our journey through this country to push forward their own narrative, which is to cheat, which is to engage in fraud, per usual. Per usual. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine Somalia being more advanced than us. Imagine that, right? Okay, keep on going. Thank you to Spencer T, who says, I want to call in and defend Minneapolis. Okay, well, if you're still here, Spencer, I give you the floor in 5 minutes. Thank you to Dolores for your super chat. Thank you to Dande2K for your super chat, who says, when the Democrats take responsibility for the murder of Charlie Kirk, then maybe I might start to consider the possibility of, I never apologizing to the Democrats for anything. I'm with you, man. Right on. Thank you to Twisted Clown, who says, ABL, those are New York style igloos. We're talking about the trash and the stuff in the snow, the trash in the snow as the igloo in New York. Thank you to Isaac Vanderbilt, who says, tell the story about Muhammad and the Al-Zut men. I don't know about that. That's outside of my wheelhouse. That's a little bit beyond me. Thank you to Dan Vicious, who says, companies have no problem moving their operations. Exactly. No issue. Especially when the cost is going to be less than what you would charge them for taxes. Okay? Yeah. Makes no sense. Thank you to Twisted Clown, who says, and matter of fact, if you impose a big tax on the company, that might be the jolt they needed to move, because they might prefer to go somewhere else, but it might be too expensive. But since you make it to where it's more expensive to stay than to leave, okay, we wanted to leave anyway. Now you're forcing us to leave, basically, because we got to pay this big amount of money regardless. Either we got to pay you or we got to pay the movers and all the stuff in the back end to be able to get out. Relocating people, hiring new people, moving your operations, moving your equipment, or whatever the case may be. That cost would be less than what you charge me for tax. So now I'm incentivized to move. Twisted Clown says liberals promote things. You have to. I ain't gonna say that because it's a family show. I think it's a Brian Hendricks who says Tree Fitty for OT and good show. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, boss. All righty, let's keep rocking and rolling. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. And the phone lines are on right now. And shout out to you guys again. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. I apologize for being a little bit past time, but I was on a roll, so I couldn't stop. Yeah, it's like a snowball going downhill, and the hill didn't reach the end until just right now. But again, the number to call, 706-406-3287 is the number to call. And don't nobody get cold feet now. I stood up this late and nobody gonna call in. That's crazy. All right. But shout out to you guys again. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Is there any spammers? Is there any spam in the chat? What's going on? Let me know. Okay, I do see a spammer right there. Okay. Let's do it this way. Okay, cool. One second to you on the line, 417.
Hi, ABL. About the Trump thing, I'm not really. I really avoid a lot of news, but I thought it was like one of those. Well, it was the intern or somebody.
Yeah.
I'm really neutral towards it.
Okay, but do you think it was like the intern? Like it wasn't really a mistake. It wasn't really it wasn't on purpose.
It was a mistake. That's what I think it was.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I'm like neutral because things like that happen.
Exactly. I mean, it's not perfect, but ain't nobody perfect on planet Earth.
No. Also, sorry, as somebody who is disabled, I am letting you slide using that R word.
There we go. Thank you for that. I appreciate you for the pass.
Yeah, you got the pass for me. I don't care.
Right on.
Okay. Night.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Shout out to her. And like I always say, I don't talk about people that's actually disabled. I'm talking about those that don't have their marbles. So she has some sense. She understands that mistakes happen. See, we on the same page. Shout out to her. Good caller. Okay. Unknown call. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. It's Renee from Boston. How are you?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Good, thank you. I just wanted to say, I really wish that everybody would why can't we just call each other Americans? You know what I mean? We refer to each other. Do you get my point? I kind of called it on the fly, so I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
You know what I mean? But, yeah, I just think that, I don't know, there's so much division with, especially with voting. We have to, no IDs, really? Come on. Where I live, the hotels are filled with, I don't know, newcomers. That's what they call them.
Yeah.
They're filled. And, yeah, it's crazy. So, I know I can't say this on YouTube, so, I mean, it's like changing our environment. It's a little insane. But anyways, it's cold up here. I'm glad that it's probably warm where you are. I wanted to call and hope you have a good night.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Okay, we got a 996 country code. What's going on?
Hi, this is Peacemaker from Kyrgyz Republic. I'm spamming your chat, but this is not actually spam. Please don't block me. This is what I'm going to tell you.
Okay, hold on. Are you on speakerphone?
No, I'm on cell phone.
Do you have a Bluetooth connected? Because it's kind of hard to hear you. You're a little bit muffled.
I'm calling you from cell phone.
Okay, much better. Go ahead.
You not to block my peacemaking messages. It's just something that was never happened before. It's peacemaking activity. It's that is not really spam.
Okay, so you were in the comment spamming?
This is not actually spam. You need to read the message very carefully, and I appreciate that you received my phone call. So the idea of my peacemaking activity is to launch a first peacemaking satellite that should produce a visible SOS light signal to the population of the territory of the country, on top of which it will be a definite moment. This is the idea. So I hope one day it will resonate among your viewers and YouTube users.
Okay, well, thank you for your call. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I wish you peace. Wish you peace in your heart, in your family, and in your country, and peace in the world.
All right, now, thank you.
Bye.
Okay, I caught some of that. So you must have a peace satellite. And by the way, you're not blocked. You're just in timeout for a little while. 30 minutes. But anyway, you're not blocked. You're just in timeout. Okay, let's go to the next call. Once we get to you on the line, 917.
Hi, ABL. It's Corinne from NYC.
All righty, what's going on?
I hope you are warm over there because it is chilly over here in Brooklyn. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that cold, I can't do it too much. Like it got kind of cold here a little while ago. I was about to freeze. It's like, man, I don't know how you do it in New York.
Woo! It's crazy. It's bringing back memories of when I was a kid, when we had real storms. This is really nothing compared to back then, but this is the wind chill's a little insane, and that is true about those crazy little high ice packs they got on the sidewalk. Still, I don't know what's happened with that. People shoveled, and it's just staying there. It's like a big tall thing. It's like a hill.
So is that normal to have all that snow and the trash at the same time?
No, it's not. But I mean, recently, the past few times it has snowed, yes, I do notice people are putting the trash on top of the snow hills. It's like, because they're supposed to put it to the side for them to pick up on certain days of the week. But I guess they're now putting them on top of the snow hills. It's really weird.
It is.
So yeah, it's disgusting. But I called in because the Chuck Schumer thing with the ID.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. Like these Democrats, they're really racist. This is the same thing with the Nicki Minaj thing and Jimmy Kimmel just kind of like making that casual comment that Trump must have wanted to have sex with her. That's why she's there. It's like him saying. So Chuck Schumer calling it Jim Crow, which has nothing to do with that. Everybody I know, black, Hispanic, whoever, they support ID. They just think it makes sense. Why would you not ask for ID? What is the big deal? I have ID. Ask for ID. What's the big deal?
Exactly. But you know what it is. They want to be able to cheat. That's all it is. So rather than saying we want to cheat, they'll say, oh, it's because of the blacks.
Yeah, so this is the thing. He mentioned two things which I thought was really dumb and insulting. He said, "People won't be able. What if you can't find your birth certificate? So what are you trying to say? Black people have a hard time finding their birth certificate? What are you talking about?" And then he said, "Well, what if you get married and then you can't find the new ID?" Women I know that get married, they change that thing right away. It's like automatic. You change your name, you change your ID.
Exactly.
You change everything at work, on your pace. Like everything's done. What's the big deal? It's not hard.
Not at all. I mean, like you get married, you probably going to move.
Yeah,
okay, you got new mailing address, name, all of that. Do all that in one one afternoon at the DMV.
Yeah, it's done. It's like, that's it, So I think it's very insulting. He's the racist, making statements like that, just acting like Republicans are No, Republicans are saying we believe that you are able to show your right. Like they believe everyone can do this, black, white, whatever. So it's him that's kind of being racist, talking about, oh, they won't be able to find your birth certificates, and it's just silly.
Exactly.
And I didn't really hear much. I was busy working while you were on air. I saw some people tweeting about the Obama thing with the ape, but so I don't know much about that. So I got to look into it. So I really can't comment on it. But I will say, without even knowing much, I'm not offended. I think this is silly. Anytime people refer, like, kind of joke about somebody being a monkey or ape, they automatically got to assume it's a racist thing. I have heard all different types of people. A Chinese girl I knew was calling her brother an ape. Like, this is not a black thing. You know, people got to get over this. Like, I've heard parents call their little kids or little boys, they're acting like a little monkey. It's nothing racist.
And the thing about it is, it wasn't even something that Trump put up. It was like a mistake because you just screen recording the video about the election data, and then a video scrolled up automatically. And during the screen recording, that piece was captured, and the guy didn't bother to cut a little last piece off. It was a mistaken video editing that got blown out of proportion.
Oh, I see. And I'm sure they're just latching onto that and just loving it. Ooh, any little thing they could do to just make Trump look crazy and racist. They just love it.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm over it. But I hope that blows over, whatever that is. I'll look into the ape thing. But yeah, same old, same old. They're just racist, and I'm tired of it. It's really getting annoying.
I agree.
Okay, well, I'll let you take a few more calls. You have a good night, ABL. Stay nice and warm.
Will do. Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right, great call. Shout out to the caller. Let's go to 509. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Greg. Good evening, good sir, Anthony.
Good evening. What's happening?
I'm in Comrade Ferguson's Washington State here. Anyways, I'd like to talk about the campaign 2020 because of this Fulton County thing. I don't know if you remember that one of Biden, Dementia Joe's basement, Biden little rally he had, 6 people, 6 feet apart, all wearing masks. You remember that? People honking horns in cars.
Not exactly, but that time it was kind of like that kind of stuff going on.
Yeah. But a voter asked Biden if he could help, or if she could help with the campaign. You know, a normal politician would say knock on doors, go out there and hand out DNC propaganda, volunteer and be a poll watcher. Biden said, "We've got it covered. We'll need your help after the election to help us implement our policies." And then Clinton, right after that, said, "Don't concede under any circumstances." You know it was rigged. 100% they knew it was rigged. What politician would say, "We've got it covered. We don't need your help," you know, as a voter, a Democratic voter. And that's all I got to say about that. But do you also remember Biden said, "Come on in, all asylum seekers," you know, when they had that big surge in 19? And then Trump was warning us about caravans and invasions.
Yeah.
Well, I think we got what Biden did for those 4 years. And they also brought in unintentionally the cartels, the drug cartels. And, you know, over 400 people are dying every day here in America from fentanyl and drug overdoses because of that open borders. Now, of Trump's closed borders and the Border Patrol being able to jam those drones carrying fentanyl across the border, they're dropping out of the sky. I've seen videos of it. The drug overdoses have precipitously declined in 25, and thank God. I lost my son from a fentanyl marijuana blunt in his beloved Kentucky in 23, and so I'm an angel parent, and so was Scott Adams. He was an angel parent. Rest in peace, Scott Adams. And I guess that's about it. Any questions, sir?
That's pretty much it for me, man. Thank you for the call, and RIP to your son.
All right, and RIP to those other families and friends of the other 400 or more, probably way more, dying from that stuff.
Absolutely.
All right, you take care, good sir.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate you.
Have a good night.
All right, shout out to the caller. Yeah, man, a lot of that going on. A lot of the people dying of overdoses, people getting affected by the drugs, even if they don't die, if they still living, they are dealing with the effects of the addiction. And that's a big thing that Trump campaigned on, and he was able to deliver on that because we saw people say, and we see the data that shows that the overdose deaths from fentanyl specifically are down. which is a huge benefit to our country. You cannot have a country that's any kind of way successful or viable if the population is hooked on drugs and dead. That is not really going to get her done. So shout out to President Trump for making that happen. Joe Biden unleashing the hordes of humanity upon us. Shame on you. Shame on you. But I'm glad that we were able to get back in there and reverse that action as much as possible. You can't undo all damage that's been done, but you can stop the bleeding. You know, if somebody's on the ground and they bleeding, your focus should be to stop it. The blood that spilled is already on the ground. It's already there. It's already in the earth. You can't do anything to retrieve it, but you can do something to stop it. So I think that's what Trump did, stop the bleeding. So again, shout out to President Trump, Orange Man good, all day long. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, I got a little bit more time. Like I said, I'm in overtime. So if you want to call in before I call it a wrap, call on in, jump on before I hop off of the stream. And thank y'all again for being here. Yeah, the Democrats enable drug use because they had the border wide open. So fentanyl can flow freely. All other drugs, methamphetamine, everything can flow freely. And then they give you the paraphernalia and they don't really criminalize it. So it's just like, okay, we want you to go be on drugs, do these kind of things. Okay, let's go 608. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
What's up? This is Dan Vicious in the chat. Love your show. Good stuff. I grew up on army bases first years of my life, and all my friends were African Americans, Hispanic, whatever. But because I'm a conservative now, everybody says, oh, you're a racist. Oh, you know, this and that. It's like my best friends were, you know, black kids. You know, Michael Bell, Clifton Davis. Those were my homies. You know, and I'm here in Madison, Wisconsin, the liberal stronghold. You know, these people are crazy. And I've been here for years. And, you know, this is just crazy, the way these people talk. Like, putting down all these people. You know what I mean?
Of course. It's weird because they say that they are the not racist ones. They are the liberal ones. They are the anti-conservatives, and conservatives are the racists. But then when you hear them speak and how they speak about certain groups, it's like, okay, you say you're not racist, but I'm hearing something different.
Yeah, no, absolutely. These people are crazy, and we shouldn't give them the time of day. You know, we just got to laugh in their faces.
I agree.
All right, that's all I got to say. You guys have a good night. Love you all. God bless you.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. Yeah, people that know, they know. Shout out to the white guys who grew up around black guys. Somebody, you know, I know a lot of guys like that. A lot of good guys I grew up with. Like when I came to Chesapeake, when I came to a better neighborhood, when I got to be like about 14, 15. Really good guys. Really, really good guys. Shout out to the white guys hanging around the black guys and vice versa. 714 the line, speaker two.
I know a lot of guys like
714. Yes.
Hey, is this ABL?
Yes, it is.
Outstanding. I'm glad I caught you, brother. I am a long-time subscriber. And I just wanted to give you some props that you're doing such a great job. I love your show. I've been watching it for years and years before you moved to Tennessee.
Oh, wow. So you've been around since like the beginning, basically.
Right? And since you were doing other things with your channel, even gaming and everything else. So
yeah.
I'm so happy that you're doing great. You may not even remember, I called you a long time ago, and the connection was bad. I couldn't talk to you. So I've just been a quiet listener. I'm in the chat, Robert Drake in the chat. My area code is 714 only because my daughter bought me this cell phone. So it says California, but I'm a Virginian. Anyway, we miss you in VB. I'm sure you're having a great time out there in Tennessee. And as far as the show tonight, I was just going to say, I'm kind of bummed that Trump deleted that meme because it was so funny. And, you know, people will get all in their issues about racism. He's not racist at all. And I've been following Trump long before he was president. I actually have a lot of his ideas in my closet. I got the Trump game in my gaming closet, and I got his books. I mean, he's a great guy, and people don't know that. They just don't know the history behind him, and everybody loved him.
They did. They all loved him back in the day. But
Right?
then all of a sudden, when he ran for president as a Republican, they turned on him.
Yeah, yeah. And, you know, it's all politics. It has nothing to do with the person himself. I mean, he's a very, very funny entertainer. He's an entertainer and a business icon. That's his shtick, you know, and he's probably the best I've seen at both, given his background. I mean, look what he did with the beauty pageant, USA. He totally turned that around from being a disaster into perfect, you know. But I think he's doing wonderful things. I'm so glad that he got reelected. We all know he got elected 3 times, but, you know, whatever. It happens. Politics.
Of course.
And for you, ABL, I just want to say I love you, brother. You're doing a great job. I love your show. I love that you interact with all of your peoples. And I love chat. They're so interactive as well. So I'm going to keep watching and keep being an active participant.
Thank you for your call and your long-time support, man. I definitely appreciate you.
Hey, I appreciate you too, brother.
All right,
God bless.
God bless you. All right, shout out to the OG followers in the chat. All the way back. That was like, I was in Virginia. I left Virginia in 2017. So you're talking about at least bare minimum 9 years. Probably maybe even when I first started. And I first started in 2015. So that's going on 11. So shout out to you guys. OGs for sure. 501, you're online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Robert.
All righty, what's happening?
Not too much. I just think that we as Americans, we're lacking a lot of schooling, because if you know history, and I think that's a big issue with these Democrats when they start talking, because saying Jim Crow and racist and all this other stuff, a lot of people don't know that Jim Crow was started by Democrats. The same way that it took Republicans to pass the 1964 Civil Rights Act. It wasn't because of no Democrats, because they were voting against it.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, I just think it's crazy that, but one thing that I have been seeing, a lot of people like on Instagram, Facebook, and a lot of other platforms have been, I guess waking up, and they're actually, posting, a lot of this information about, like what's going on.
Yeah, I'm glad that that's one good thing, is that people are starting to wake up. They're starting to understand what reality is, and they are speaking about that. That's a good thing, because some who are not on that same level, those who have not gotten out of their slumber yet, they're able to see this, and it may help them on their journey as well.
Yeah. I got a question for you.
All right.
So at any point, are you going to try to go to the White House and sit in that chair?
I mean, that'll be nice. I put my name in and everything, so I don't know how the process goes, but that'll be nice.
Yeah, hopefully you get in that. I mean, we got 3-4 years, because I know what Brandon Tatum got on there.
Yeah.
So hopefully you and a couple other people get in there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I don't have too much. I just been working on my master's degree, and that's about it.
Right on, man. Well, thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
All right. You have a good one.
Same to you. All righty. Shout out to my man. Great call. But yeah, that'd be good to get into the independent journalist, the podcaster area. That'd be good for sure. All right, but shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. I got a little bit more time. I got about 5 more minutes because it's way past my bedtime. I'm up way too late. But no, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll probably won't go to bed till 4 o'clock in the morning like I normally do. But anyway, let's go. Unknown caller, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Unknown caller on the line. Basically, you know, I've been saying a couple of times on your show, and I've been listening since 2016. Long time. What you said today, which is a lot of the left, before I want to get on a tingling, before I proceed, I want to say that Bush Senior and Junior were Republicans, right? But on a deeper level, they served a bad, nasty agenda. I think a satanic agenda, to be honest. I won't get too intricate and too deep, but that's I do a lot of truth seeking, and that's the truth. So when people say, you know, left and right and all that, like you kind of clarified about an hour and a half ago, Trump is now running for conservative, so that's who we are interested in because we have certain goals, aspirations, we have certain values, that's it. And we want to make sure things are done right. We don't want to see anyone or anything we love, our home, our health, our body, our temple, our economy, truth, freedoms, and liberties trampled. We don't want to live in a communist surveillance society. But that's what the bad guys, whether left or right, are completely interested in. They want to heavily edit here on this platform. You can check if you come off your, say you're using, whatever browser, and you come to the back or side door on another browser, you check, right? You copy and then paste on the second browser, the page you're on, and you'll find that your comments are missing. But if you're just a brainless squawker, just virtue signal, echo chamber, parrot, boy, what's cracker? You know, the kiss butts who say what they gotta say and they do the trick to get the treat. Those are the people that destroy our whole liberty, our whole life, and what the real freedom fighters paved the way for. That's why they say have faith in God, not man, because man lets you down either intentionally because we're not perfect, but I'm talking about the ones who intentionally plot, scheme, scam, like the Somalians, and the ones who let them in, they're in on it too. I mean, how can you get rid of racism by allowing people in who are racist? You can't let cancers into your healthy body because they're going to try and replicate. Keep the enemy out instead of surrounding your inner country with all these people who hate you. It's stupid. You got to cut it out. Charity starts at home. Clean things from within. But there are people that hate us. They envy us. They just want our money. If you remember YouTube from way back in 2006, there was a lot of people from certain cultures who said, basically, and I'm paraphrasing, we don't like you. We just will like your money. Hala hala. Oops, oh well. And it's true. They come here. They don't want freedom and liberty, but they'll hella sure tell you to go in their country, die for them. And when you come back, you have no housing, no job. They steal your life, your wife, your money, your economy, and they move on to the next unsuspecting state full of gullible, naive people who don't know about these specific cultural, stinking, dirty underbelly habits. And like the Wuhan warrior told us, if you know your cultures, I'm kind of slangy, if you know certain people's cultures, you know the pros and cons, and you can stay 2 steps ahead. I grew up around all kinds of people. I really mean it. I'm not just I'm a millennial talking foolishness, exaggerating. Excuse me. And when you grow up on all kinds of people, Pakistani, Chinese, Asian, all them, you know their tricks. They speak English when it's convenient, when they want to techie, but when they get busted, all of a sudden, as you say, they're no speaking up.
Okay, I didn't do that. That's my man. Connection got lost. I didn't do that. But shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. All right. 504, don't know who I'm speaking to.
Hey, ABL, Adilian Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. Shout out to you and chat. I've been enjoying the stream. You've been doing very well as usual. And yeah, I've been diving into the Epstein files and looking at those, and other YouTubers have too. And it seems like all the different conspiracy theories I and others, and we've talked about, seem like they're true. And Bill Clinton's in a lot of them, a lot of the pictures.
Oh yeah, but that seems to be kind of like not really your topic, not really your story, because I think the purpose of the Epstein files for a lot of people is to attack Trump and conservatives. If that's not available, then I'll leave it alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as I said, with Trump, I think if he, did anything, he would have, the other side would have used it against him. So I think anything in there, people saying that he did something is not true, because they would have used that against him, in my opinion.
Exactly, because they did all kind of desperate things to keep him out of the office, and none of those things worked. And I think something as big as the Epstein files, if he was in there, that'd be a surefire bet against him to keep him out of the office. But since they didn't do it, that means that it's not there.
Yeah. So I think that Trump didn't do anything wrong. He just knew a lot of different people, and Epstein was known to try to blackmail people and stuff like that, and he wanted to get around influential people. But nothing I see that Trump did anything. Other people, yes, but not him. No, nothing that I've seen. It's just the other side trying to use this propaganda against Trump. But no, their people were the ones that did weird stuff on their side, in my opinion.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, and I think that it was racist what the lady was saying about addressing all white people. It's like they have to be so condescending, and all that's going to do is going to make the rift between the races worse, in my opinion.
Right. That's not really going to do anything in the way of healing, in the way of being able to make a bridge. It's just going to create more division.
Yeah, and I think anybody should have an ID, because to register to vote, to go to the go vote, everybody needs that on them, because everybody like in the other countries, they don't have that. They just, whatever the party or leader says, they do. So I do think it's a way of them trying to sabotage or cheat in the elections.
Well, yeah, of course. That's the main thing. That's what they want, is to be able to have that option, to have that ability to cheat. If they think that it's going to be a race that might be kind of close, or they might be in danger of losing, okay, let's just cheat to win. And we can't cheat if you're going to have voter identification.
Yeah, and you see, they try to bring up the race stuff because it's a way to trigger people. Because when someone brings up a racial thing, it's a way to manipulate the masses to get angry at something or think they're under the Jim Crow stuff from a long time ago that's not around anymore. But I don't know why they can't acknowledge that their own party were the ones that instigated that in the first place. And I think it's completely gaslighting.
It is 100%. And they won't acknowledge that, because that'll just take away from the mystique as the great party that's there for the minorities. They can't have that marketing if they embrace that they were the ones and still are the ones, the party of racism.
Yeah, and because everybody should be treated like people, and when you turn the people against each other and not want to have peace, that's what they're doing. Now, I think that a lot of these people that you show in these videos are mindless. Like the dude with the whistles. Before you said anything, I was thinking that about those whistles from China, that they must have been in some terrible warehouse somewhere with people that are not clean, and he's just going to use them. It's like they're not even thinking with their head.
Exactly. That was my thing. It's like, come on, man. Like, we gotta use a little bit of brain power now. This thing is clearly not from a place that's going to be very, very sanitary. You're gonna pop it right in your mouth and go out there all day with that. Obviously, that's not a sane thing to do, but we're not dealing with people that are playing with a full deck. So that's going to be, pretty much par for the course.
Yeah. Something that I thought about was that when you're showing the dude that was saying that they're not in the South anymore, they're not in the North anymore, and they're coming to the South. Like, does the guy see in the news about the guy that was deleted when he got into a fight with the altercation during the protest? First of all, in my opinion, I don't think people should bring especially if someone's going to try to cause a problem, they shouldn't bring the firearms to a protest like that. But I think with the dude that you showed, it's not really a good idea what he said, and they're going to be protected, the ICE people that are going through different cities. They really think they could just go fight them in the streets, but it's not. I don't think it's going to work out well if they try that.
Yeah, it's not gonna work well at all. But people don't really watch the news like that. They don't know what's going on. They may hear a snippet here and there, but they're not really tuned in. They just kind of speak from an uninformed point of view.
You know what I think? I think they're just a bunch of like mindless cogs in a machine where they're like being programmed and they're just brainwashing. They're watching a television, like watching magic tricks, and they're just like drones, like that are just because they just seem like there's nothing in there. So I do think a part of it is mass brainwashing, in my opinion.
I agree with that 100%.
All right. And that's all to say for this call. Thank you for taking my call. ABL, have a good Super Bowl Sunday. You and chat.
Thank you for the call, man. Same to you.
Okay, bye.
All right. Shout out to Alien Spaceship for the call. And that will be the last call for me tonight. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you enjoyed the show tonight, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. If you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. If we stay around for a while, I'll be live every Wednesday and Saturday on YouTube at 8 p.m. Eastern to right around right now, 11 p.m. normally, 11:30 right now. But normally 8 to 11 Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday and Saturday here on YouTube. I'm live. And I'm live on Instagram at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesdays. And I still got to upload that one from this past Tuesday here. But anyway, this is also an audio streaming podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available for free on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether that be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description, or visit your favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. Alrighty, do I have more supers here? I got them all. Okay, that'll be great. So again, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Thank you to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. You know, I could not do the show without you. Thank you to the moms for keeping the trolls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out and peace.